episode 234 of the HurricaneKaz podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. I'm joined with PvP Josh, Twastell, and Kaz cannot make it today. She is doing some festive things, I believe, but she will be here for our holiday episode next week. And I do apologize for everyone listening to the last episode. So I thought it was actually editing error on my end at first, like the Vegas one where or the episode right before Vegas where I shifted Tristan's audio timeline up a minute or two. But his actual audio file was corrupted for the first 22 minutes of the episode. So that's why there's times where we're just pausing and waiting for him to say something, and then he says it, etc. But or he doesn't say anything, but we respond. But if you listen to the full episode, his audio does come back, thankfully, after 22 minutes, and I don't think he talked about too much before then. But yeah, there just was all the files were corrupted, so it wasn't an editing mistake, which actually was worse because I couldn't fix it. But so hopefully it wasn't too bad. I didn't notice too many comments even related to that. Just one person DM'd me, and I noticed myself when I was listening. I was like, oh, this is kind of cheeks, but.
Yeah, I don't know whether I was shocked that because there were a lot of comments already and none of them mentioned it. And I was like,
none of them mentioned it before I even clarified in the YouTube top comment or in the pod anything on the audio version. I didn't add in description at all.
I was just like, what do you guys think is happening? Have you just clocked it really easy and I guess they're just clearly Tristan's voice isn't there, but
our listeners are chill, they just don't care. Yeah. They're just they're chilling. So, but yeah. Anyway, so there's that. But today we'll have a slightly lighter schedule of events just because we'll have an episode next week, so we don't cover something we talked about right before recording. We don't cover things too far in advance because even I start forgetting what the heck we talk about when an event rolls out. I was like, what is this thing spawning? This new Pokemon incoming right now, Rock and Fire type, Roly-Coly.
Roly-Coly is not a Rock and Fire type.
Well, okay, it's just a Rock type or something. Or is it just a fire type? Oh, okay. Well, Carkol, Roly-Coly is just a play on roly-poly bugs. But Carkol and Coalossal,
Coalossal,
my bad. They are coming, and their stat product is pretty high in Great League. So it's higher. I haven't checked Ultra League yet, but I was talking about this in a local tournament I was playing, this Cup and Challenge I played this past weekend. It's higher than a Jellicent. But it's lower. It's smaller than a Azumarill. Here's the thing, though: Coalossal and Carkol have pretty much the same exact stat product, but one is way cheaper to make because it's the third stage evolution, and the other one's the second stage evolution. And I believe their movesets are pretty much identical, and the typing's unique. It's a Magcargo typing, Rock and Fire, but also it's pretty bulky in Great League, so this might be relevant.
Okay, hang on. How can their stats be the same?
Plug into V-Poke and you'll see.
That's the same, and they're not any cheaper than each other, right? I mean, you'd
say again. Okay. So here's I'll
no,
rank
the middle
one to rank
one is actually bulkier.
Slightly, very slightly. Actually, almost negligible. Here's the stat product difference. For rank ones, Coalossal, the third stage evolution, 97.1 for attack, 95.7 for Carkol, the second stage.
What?
For defense, 140.8. Defense for the other one, 142.8. So only 2 defense higher, which is barely anything. And then stamina, 169 versus 171. 2 stamina more. And again, if you just have a higher rank Coalossal than a Carkol, it's going to be bulkier anyway, right? Because
this is crazy. Why? How is it like this? Why are they the exact same Pokemon?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not the biggest math guy. You're the PhD, so this is your case to figure out. Okay, so if you compare so rank 1 Coalossal to a 4, 15, 15 Carkol, a rank 77, the Coalossal has more stamina and less than 1 defense difference. So again, their stat bar are pretty much identical. Yes, Carkol technically you can maximize a little bit bulk if you want to. All right, so the intended movesets that we don't know yet because they're not released yet, but intended movesets is Incinerate Smackdown, and then for Coalossal it's Flame Charge, Rock Blast, Rock Slide. For Carkol is Flame Charge, Rock Blast, Rock Slide. Same exact moveset on both. Same exact stat product on both. Dude, if I don't see a Yonkers ABB video of this Fireground Coalossal Carkol backline, I don't know what's happening, because this seems like the perfect ABB line if you love ABB lines. But yeah.
Okay. For the record, I'm looking, and it's like
okay.
the in-game.
If you're not watching
stats,
the YouTube version, Steve's face is still like trying to piece it together,
It's like it's just the same, but the level's different. Like Carkol has to go up to like level 47 or something, and Coalossal is like level 24.
Exactly.
And, like in the in-game stats, like in the video game, Coalossal like is a better Pokemon. It has higher stats, but it's just proportionally better. Like it's not significantly better in one stat. It's just like slightly bumped up, so it gets to the thing at a lower level.
It's some people have a glow up, but Coalossal was the same. Just got
bigger. It's not quite the same, but Tinkaton and Tinkatuff are actually fairly similar.
Let me put that in. But they don't have the same exact movesets, right?
No, Tinkatuff has like one less move. It doesn't have a Bulldoze or Heavy Slam.
It has Flashkin and Play Rough, so
it's
a little bit different. But
yeah, you're right though. They are really similar stats. Not as similar, but basically the same-ish.
Oh, yeah. This is actually really good though for because you have to go like best buddy for the Tinkatuff, right?
Yeah. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, well, you
Pretty
just
similar.
would just go Tinkaton, not Tinkatuff, because it's
cheaper and you have better moves.
Yeah. But like even if moves are the same, you wouldn't run Tinkatuff outside of like vibes.
Right. And Tinkaton actually has the better bulk of the two.
Yeah.
Versus like with the Carkol, that one's actually a bit bulkier.
I mean, a bit is like it's literally a bit. But I will say, stat product wise, Coalossal and Carkol are bulkier than Tinkaton as well. So I'm trying to find something that's similar in bulk. It's bulkier than Lapras. Like this thing is pretty bulky. I don't know about the typing, right? Because you're double weak to ground, you're double weak to water, you're weak to fighting, you're weak. I think those are about it. But
rock.
Yeah, you're weak to rock. But for the rock enjoyers, maybe. I mean, there's also like Talonflame is kind of annoying if you don't have a true. We talked about this last week. Talonflame is kind of annoying if you don't have like a true rock type against it. But this thing will wall off Talonflame 100%. So.
And it beats Scissor that everyone complains about.
Anyone complaining about Scissor these days has not been playing the meta enough in my mind, because it just doesn't make any. It's worse in this meta than the last one. I really don't know why people complain about Scissor here, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What is this thing similar bulk to? Because actually, like, I can't find anything that's like even.
Maybe nothing, because there's not a lot of stuff that's like at that bulk range.
Oh wait, you can just do the PvPoke rank sort by stat product.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Go
to the rankings page.
Oh, I see.
And then sort by stat product.
Oh, I can just see based off this. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's similar to like a Araquanid. It's probably the most meta relevant thing. Like people don't see, or Jumpluff.
It's not super meta relevant. It's like a little better than Coalossal, a Galarian Coalossal.
That's pretty good too. That's pretty bulky. Yeah. So it's somewhere between. Oh, it's better. It's better than Registeel, actually. Even it's better than Lickitung. That's pretty good. It's better than Lickitung. It's slightly worse than Jumpluff. Lickitung and Araquanid are probably the closest things it is. It's pretty much similar as like Diggersby. Pretty crazy high.
Okay, so how do we get this guy? How do I?
Yeah. Anyway, so this could be a good event. Holiday Part 2. So starts on Wednesday, 24th, 10 a.m. till the 29th, the Monday, 8 p.m. Catching event-themed Pokemon in the wild may reward stuff like fast TMs, charge TMs, silver pineapple, golden raz, and rare candy. Whoa. Okay.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, because I feel like every time they've had an event where a Pokemon can give an item, atrocious. You'll catch 1,000 Pokemon and get one TM.
It sure can get an item for you. The question is how much it gives you is the real question. Increased chance to encounter Shiny Stantler while wearing a holiday outfit. Shiny Dedenne wearing a holiday attire. That's fantastic, because I did not rate a single Shiny Dedenne last year, and
it's
free 2-0 now.
Hang on, Because I remember we had that one bet we had to power up the Dedenne.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes.
hey, Steve can power it up more now.
Yeah.
No, that's
just in time for the parabolic nerf. But
I can only power it up 2 more times.
Wait, hold on. The winter holiday is like live now. I just opened my map.
Well, part 1.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't this morning. Well, I mean, I was like, I was like driving around like at 8:30 in the morning, so that's why. Yeah. I didn't see it.
Yeah, the events usually go live at 10 a.m. local, so that makes sense. That's how events work.
Well, there's a lot of times where I don't open my game up until after 10 a.m. So that's why usually if the event started that day, it's first thing I see. Anyway, there's obviously the holiday pass thing, which was the same as last week, so we covered that. Not as near as exciting as the Halloween one, but that's okay. Roly-Coly, Carkol, Coalossal all debut. And do they spawn? Yes, they do spawn in the wild. Fantastic. Nice. If you're lucky, you may encounter them wearing holiday attire or Roly-Coly. Now, obviously, a Pokemon worth getting XLs for. I'm sure some people are wondering, what about Ultra League? Because I think that is relevant. So for Ultra League, to get the rank 1, you need a 6-14-14 level 50 Coalossal. So a lot of reasons to go for XLs. If you want to run the Carkol in Great League, or if you want to run the Coalossal in Ultra League, or both, you're going to need 500 and whatever amounts XLs. 500 and what is it, Steve?
What? It's 276, yeah? So you're actually a little more than 500.
Oh, sorry.
296? Wait, is 276 like purified or something? Is there something that's 276? What's the purified?
If you power it up to 49 and a half, it's 276.
I don't know where I got that number from then.
Wait, maybe the purified?
Yeah,
that's cheaper.
It is cheaper, but I don't think it's 276.
Well, it is still under 600. It's 592 is the exact amount. So
it's 272 is the purified number.
Oh, so you're wrong on every front.
I was sort of portmanteauing.
276 does seem like something, though.
Yeah, I don't
know.
What
is
what?
that? I feel like that is something in Pokemon, but maybe not. Anyway, so
number for Taylor.
Actually, we should check the stat product. I did not know the sort by stat product. That's actually really cool. So, okay. So let me sort by stat product in Ultra League and see. Are these all rank 1s in the stat product rankings?
I think it's default. I think it might be default, or it might depend on your PV poke settings. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure.
I see.
But it gives you the vibe anyway.
Yeah, so similar in rank in Coalossal is 4,892. Holy, wait, hold on. That's actually insane. 892. It's higher than a Zygarde complete. It would be 9th overall in stat product in Ultra League. That's kind of insane. Oh, sorry. Okay, if you take out the shadow of Cresselia, Registeel, and Steelix,
right,
it's actually 6th overall.
Interesting.
If you take away the duplicates. And it's Blissey, Cresselia, Registeel, Umbreon, Steelix, and Coalossal.
Dang, so Ultra League is actually better to start grinding.
That's what I'm saying. Thankfully, Scopely, it is spawned in the wild. We do appreciate that. Eggs. Pikachu wearing a festive hat. I think it's the same eggs as before, actually, from the part 1. So nothing too wild there. And winter weekend. So this is specific. So Saturday, the 27th to the 28th to Sunday, there's no limit on how many Go points you can earn. It's for a Go Pass, I guess.
Yeah.
And then increase. I didn't even know there was a limit on how many Go points you can earn per day. I actually didn't even know that was the thing. Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just like it's not like I'm not like dying to like finish a pass fast enough, so I never like knew. But
it says it at like the top, like out of 250 or whatever at the.
Okay, like the daily quest things. I see.
No.
Or not daily quest things.
Okay, so like you get points for like you get like 5 points for catching a Pokemon, right? And then there's a little counter out of 250 like per day or something like that.
What?
Go to. Do you have the game open?
Yeah.
Go to
the holiday pass open specifically.
Oh, I mean, like even go to the monthly one. Like scroll to the top.
The monthly. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the monthly one. Right, December. Right.
It's at, like,
I see 80 out of 100 for next rank, but that's fine. That's normal. Where's the other thing? Where's the?
I think if you click on Click on the 80 out of 100, I think.
Click on.
Okay.
It's
no, but it just says
right.
you can earn extra points.
Yeah, you have to hit the
you
little
earn all
question
250
mark.
extra points.
Yeah, like outside of the quest things. I assumed it was sitting there properly, but yeah, you have
Isn't
to
it the? Oh, okay. Oh, you could earn 500 points though for the winter holiday pass.
Yeah, up to infinite.
And up to infinite.
Very soon.
I can't be the only one that didn't know this. Come on now, drop your comments down below if you learned about this today too.
I really thought that it was on there raw. Yeah.
Where it says 2 next ranks. So like on the December Go Pass, mine says 55 out of 100. If I click the little question mark, it tells me extra points earned today, and it says I'm at 35 out of 250.
No,
so 250 is the max you can earn.
I know you could get 500 though for the winter one.
Yeah.
If you click on the winter question mark.
Right, but it's still capped.
Yeah. I know. I'm just saying there's 500 for the winter one, which is different than the standard one. My guess is maybe the holiday ones, like the Halloween one, was also 500. But okay,
I think it was. Well, the thing is, like, each pass like ends up having a totally different point system. So, like, one of the passes we had, it was like 10 points to a level, and you were capped at like, I don't know, 20 or 50 points in a day or something.
I'm honestly surprised you all even know this stuff because, like, I never, like, even if there was a limit, I never even bothered to look at it because I just figured if I played the game, it would just
see, that's complete. The thing. It's like, well,
up to like until you get to the starters part, only starters part, right?
Then
and
it's
then
like
whatever.
Yeah, that's what I just like to sort of have some semblance of like, okay, I know that I'm not playing the game a lot. Am I playing it enough? Are we fine?
Well, the real thing is like, if any of them have like rewards, or like bonuses that you unlock at certain levels. But yeah, the thing too is the reason for a lot of these passes that you end up just like blowing through them is because there ends up being some sort of a period where you can get unlimited points. Like, I feel like this is particularly relevant with like the GoFest one and like the Wild Area one, where you were limited on points for like the week leading up to it, but then the weekend of it was unlimited points, and obviously you're presumably playing a lot more during the weekend of, so it's like you end up blowing through it during the weekend event, but it's like you're definitely limited in those days leading up to how far you can get.
Yeah. Well, so that is the winter weekend, and there's also free time research for XP, Stardust, Eevee wearing a holiday hat. And there's an increased chance of shiny Eevee wearing a holiday hat during time research as well for the winter weekend event bonus. I don't know. That winter weekend event bonus seems a little underwhelming, but maybe if you're a big Eevee fan, I think it's fine. I think that's probably the most important thing, right? Because like for the Go Pass points, like I guess if you're like crunching on time and trying to finish it ASAP, that's fine. But
no, I think so. I think with the way the Halloween one was, and maybe I didn't get all my points every day, but I needed that like unlimited points over whatever couple days at the end to actually finish it. Because like,
oh really?
Yeah, I don't know how it like ends up mathing out, but I think unless you're getting like the full points every day, otherwise, I think you might need the unlimited points to finish it.
Okay. Let's see how it is. But that's the event. I think honestly, from a PvP perspective, and also even if you just PvE, having a new Pokemon spawn is nice. But also, especially for PvP purposes, whether you play Great League or Ultra League or both, it's a good one to have.
It looks like Really Cool is also in 1-star raids, it says.
Yeah.
So depending like how rare or not of a spawn it is, like obviously you're going to be mostly prioritizing the wild spawns, but like
this is not a Master League Pokemon either, so don't worry about that. It caps out at 26.59 at level 50.
Yeah, you're still maxing one out though for Ultra League, so
exactly. So if you really want to max something, I'm just saying if you get 100%, don't make it unless you really just want to make it for whatever reason.
Hey, you save a little bit of XL, a little bit of Stardust.
Yeah. But okay, that's pretty much that for our events. We'll cover more events next week. because the rest are just like pretty much things that start on like New Year's. Go Battle League. Okay, what is a good elo right now? Because I'm not sure if this Mariah Carey thing's happening or not. I assume it is, but I just don't know when it's happening.
I would assume it's not because we still haven't heard from Anacor.
I'm
No,
kind of on a
he
similar
has.
boat.
He's responded. We just haven't set a date.
He hasn't actually agreed to anything.
Well, it's just high Z low, right? Because I don't think anyone's hitting 3K. Definitely not between the two of us. So he's asking if we could wait until like the 25th. I was like, no,
okay.
Probably not happening.
I was with Tristan and I thought that it sounded like it was a no-go, but the fact that he brought up like a date, maybe.
No, he brought up a date. Yeah, we just haven't decided on a date. I'm almost positive we're going to do this. I'm almost positive we are. It's just, it just depends on like, do we have like what? 5 days of GBO left, 2 days, 3 days. That's the real thing. Like, I don't.
You should probably lock that down rather than.
Well, I know. I'm about to ask him. Like, Well, we need to record. We need to lock down recording schedule first, and then we tell him, right? Like, is he really going to be that busy on the Monday, right? Versus Thursday? Probably not. But I don't know. Maybe we could always record separately too, and then record an episode at a different time. But what is a good elo though right now? I'm at. Ah, shoot! I can't check. I freaking hate this. Wait, I can check based on what I'm in like the 2500s. Based on
I think good. I've seen some people are like 27, 28.
Dude, there are people in 2700s after during Go Battle Week, like a week ago. It's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah,
but like I don't know. I don't know.
TMA was up there.
I don't know if people have gotten much higher than like 27, 28 though, because like. I think because of like the way they're doing the pairings and the ELO gains and stuff, like I think we've talked about it. Like
consistent gain, yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's like I think they're pairing at like a wider range too.
If you don't go 4-1 at least or 5-0, you're probably losing ELO after like 2600s.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe even sooner than that. I don't know.
But yeah, I think so. That's like what's really good. I think I got up to like 2500s and then dropped a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I think like 2500s is sort of like standard, like above average ELO, and then again like 27, 28 is like really high.
Honestly, there's a chance that Anacor beats me for this one. Like, I'm legit going to start practicing this Mariah Carey song just in case I have to sing it. But I think it'll be exciting if neither of us have any idea how close we are. I mean, okay, if he listens to the episode of the podcast, and he'll give a heads up. We have no idea where Anacor's at. Like, he could be at the 1900s for what it's worth, right?
Dude, Anacor might not even have an ELO yet. Let's be real.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think he's still down to continue doing this bet if he doesn't have ELO yet.
I'm just saying he hasn't actually agreed to the bet. He's just sort of like, I feel like he's just stringing you along, like.
No, but you gotta read it. His response is like, "Oh, can we make it the 25th, the Lord's Day, meaning 24th is the last day he's getting ELO." Like he's saying this because he's like still down for it, right? Like, I know when Anacor's down for something when he's not. Like, he's not down for Bastion for it, right? Obviously, that's like not happening ever if in all likelihood. But he's still down for this Christmas cover. He still thinks he can win.
We'll see.
Which is honestly not a bad season to do it. Because there's a chance that even if I play a lot, I'm still at a lower elo. Like, that's why I think there's a chance I lose. But I will say, I played one set of Master League Shadow Tyranitar last night. 5-0, man. This thing's kind of crazy in Master League. It's kind of insane. I didn't think it would be good. I also went 5-0 with it in Ultra League and went a lot of pasta sets with it. Like, I actually was like, it's kind of like a meme thing, right? Like, especially in Great League, it's kind of a cheese pick that could work sometimes. It's actually really solid in Ultra League. I actually was surprised. And somehow it's even better in Master League.
Are you running Fire Blast?
No. What's Fire Blast give me? Oh, like Steel?
Like the Zacian and stuff.
No, I'm running ABB Tyranitar on the back with Kieran White. I'm safe swapping to Kieran White.
Okay.
So between the Kieran White and then I have a Metagross in the lead, like, I'm really strong to Steals for what it's worth.
Right, and that's fair.
You need a Stone Edge like a Ho-Oh through a shield,
Okay. I've just seen like a lot of like clips and screenshots of people like fire blasting like Zacians and Zamas and stuff.
Maybe that's why they didn't shield the potential Stone Edge, because they're just like, this might be Fire Blast Brutal Swing. But I just decided to full send it because I was just like, let's just see what happens. One brutal swing from a Shadow Tyranitar, literally like one shot a Lunala. It was kind of crazy.
Well,
I mean, it has some
yeah.
chip damage, but it's brutal swing. What
It's
I
double
thought.
weak though. And it's Shadow T-Tar, right?
Oh, it is double weak. Sorry, I keep thinking that it's like pure psychic, but yeah, you're right. It is double weak. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. It's solid though. I mean, it like beats like even Dialga's not that bad. Even though you're doing neutral Dragon Breath, so it's hard to team build around because you're always gonna be ABA weak to something. Because like if you pair with the steel, you're weak to fire. You're weak to water. You're weak to ground. If you pair it with like a water, you're weak to. I forgot what I'm weak to. Maybe water is a fine pairing.
I mean, you're technically weak to grass, but I don't think grass is really that real in Master
No,
League.
grass is yeah. I mean, you see a Tapu Bulu once in a while, but yeah, grass is pretty rare. Pretty much non-existent. I guess Kyogre and Tyranitar is a good pairing. Maybe I should run that. Kyogre is not as reliable into steel types. I just needed something that actually like significantly beats like fairies. Sorry, not fairies.
Steel,
And seals. Yeah. So.
So
Anyway,
I guess my question though is like, what? So you've played Ultra and Master now this season. Like how?
I played everything.
Yeah, but like, how do you feel like the Ultra and Master Leagues metas are this season, especially compared to like last season?
I do think the Belly Bolt nerf was pretty solid to diversify the meta a bit. Like Belly Bolt was one of those Pokemon that was so strong that even in like not great situations, it had some play or like it was still pretty annoying. Whereas like Jelson is really, really strong in this meta, but like it loses a lot of things too. And so like I'll run to like triple Jelson counters. I'm just like, dude, I can't do anything. But because it's so strong, people can do that, right? And there's enough flexibility and coverage for it because Jelson's just like weak to a lot of like typings like electric, grass, dark, ghost, right? All those things. Whereas like Belly Bolt was like pretty much it's only weak to ground. So you had to build a lot more one dimensionally to beat it. You couldn't run triple ground, right? That's kind of crazy. But you could run like grass, ghost, electric, right? That's like fine. But or dark even. So I think it's better, 100%. The Tentacruel payback buff is stupid annoying too because you're like I'm running a Jelson lead into a Tentacruel and they're not shielding my Shadow Ball because it doesn't do that much, and I'm shielding like every payback, and I'm like, bro, this is like a matchup I used to wall off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's.
I mean, that's probably a good thing though, right? It makes the gameplay more dynamic rather.
Yeah, I
than,
agree.
like,
I agree. Yeah, it is a good thing.
off.
Yeah, that's why I think it's better than last season. Fortress has become stupid annoying though in Ultra League this season, and because like Jelson is still very, very strong and a lot of the water types are pretty good, it's hard to run Talonflame and just like fires in general. So that's usually a big aspect to it. I did see a lot of like double or triple fire teams though in Ultra League, which is kind of crazy. And
yeah, Jelson's
my
meta.
Tyranitar fumbled some of those. I should have been able to like full sweep with it, but
I mean it's squishy, so that makes sense. But is Ultra League? Are most people running Volt Switch on Fortress or Bug Bite?
Everyone's sort of Volt Switch, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
For the mirror, for
and the waters, yeah,
there's a lot of waters. Walreins, like here or there as well. I don't personally love it, but it's solid, right? It's very safe as well. But I didn't enjoy it. Oh, Licky Licky is all over the place. Oh, Licky Licky is a strong Jelson counter. Yeah, there's just so many things that are top of the meta that are Jelson counters that even though Jelson is super high up in the rankings, like it's actually a little bit hard to use. There's like every other team or every third team will have one, but it's still like not the easiest.
How are like Gorgeist and Ludicolo in Ultra League?
I don't like it. One of my patrons, Bubelli, was like really enjoying Ludicolo. I tried it. It was just like it charges so slow. Like if you don't land the Leaf Storm, it's just like kind of like feast or famine, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, especially with the Astonishing, you just don't charge up fast enough.
Yeah,
he had success with it, but I like was straight losing like almost every. I think I went like 3 or 4 negative sets with it.
What about Gorgeist? Is that like are people using that in Ultra? How's that?
No, I'm trying to think why.
Well, what's it for?
I don't actually know why. I didn't even try it myself. I think it's because like Jelson's around. I'm actually not sure. It's probably the Jelsons because Jelson's not as prominent in Great League. And it's not nearly as bulky in Great League either. Licky is kind of thing, but I mean it's not terrible in Licky compared to like Jelson is. I actually don't know why people don't run as much. For what it's worth, there actually is a decent amount of fires in Ultra League. Like I've seen like mix of like Skelders, Talonflame.
Wait, I thought you were just saying there wasn't
Fusion.
much fire and Fortress was annoying as a result.
Oh yeah, I guess there wasn't much fire when I was playing Fortress and when I like on the one day, but there was legit the day I was playing Shadow Tyranitar, I saw a ton of fire. I don't know what happened. It just could have been just like
There was too much Fortress.
I mean,
too much
yeah,
Fortress,
maybe.
maybe the adjustment. Yeah, maybe. Because a lot of people stopped using Jellicent because everyone was running like double, triple counters to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know why Gorgeist is not as prominent. I don't even have one built for Ultra League for what it's worth. But I don't think it's like that expensive to make, right? I mean, there's, I mean,
Isn't
everyone
it an XL build?
maybe, but like we've had Gorgeist for years, right? I think most of
Yeah,
them
for
have those.
sure.
It's not by much. Like a rank 1 is a 42.5.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad at all.
So, and if you have like if you have a lower rank, then it's even cheaper, right? Like most of them probably will be like, it's definitely cheaper than like Jellicent, Fortress, all those stuff. I'm actually not sure. That's a good point. Let me actually see on the rankings what it kind of looks at because I don't think it was even that high. I forgot what I tiered it at for my Ultra League tier list, but I did have a tier list. It is 78 overall, so actually not that great.
Yeah, that's fair.
Wait, is Galarian Moltres around everywhere? Or
Galarian Moltres is. Oh, that's another thing. Galarian Moltres, I wouldn't say it's super common because probably just accessibility reasons. Like I don't even have one, right? Because I don't have one. I'm just going to say for Great League. But that is also 100% concern for core guys, right? Because you're completely walled off on your charge attacks, and Incinerate doesn't do as much in Ultra League to a Moltres. Yeah, so yeah, Moltres is actually pretty common.
Yeah, that makes sense. I will say in Great League, like the Moltres matchup isn't terrible because like Incinerate still does some decent damage, and then like Shadow Bolt's not bad either.
Also in Great League, there's less Moltres because there's stuff like Bastion, Carbon going around. Like, you don't really have that in Ultra League, right? So
yeah, the Gorgeist like in Great League, like I think I like flipped like I think someone counter swapped like a Shadow Drapion and I shielded once and like flipped switch. Like it can do that when like stuff is less bulky.
Yeah.
And then what do you think about like the Master League this season? Is it better,
Master
worse?
League's good. No, I have a lot of fun in Master League actually. It's probably my favorite meta this season. And that's given that I don't have everything built, but I think it's a ton of fun. I honestly doubted how strong Xerneas would be just with like just a Geomancy buff, but it's actually kind of nice. I didn't even use it myself. I faced a couple of them. I'm like, well, this Geomancy damage does put me in a range where like one Moonblast plus Geomancy might do enough to like maybe like a Dialga instead of needing to go like close combat, stuff like that. The slight nerf to Spatial Rend was fine. That does help things a lot. There's just a lot of things that are really relevant. Like Reshiram and Zekrom are still pretty solid, right, in this meta, even though they're not like Kyurem White or Kyurem Black. But the typing's good, the pacing's good, and a lot of people have been running the Stone Edge Reshiram tech instead of Draco Meteor, and it's actually really solid because it's just like one shots like Ho-Oh, and I just like didn't shield one. I was like, what the heck? I was like, this is just a fusion flare, or like if it's Draco Meteor, I don't think they're going to throw it like this quickly, right? And you know, it's actually a really solid combination. But yeah, I mean, like Reshiram just like beats like Zacian. Zekrom can beat Zacian. It's not great, but could. You know, like it just they're really safe. And yeah, I think it's solid. Like I got hard counter in a game and I still like won it because you just play around. Like I was like I led Ho-Oh into a Rhyperior. I had Kyurem White into a Zacian, which is not the cleanest matchup, but still. And then I had a Yveltal into a Xerneas. Mind you, the Rhyperior itself beats all three, right? But then they also double fairy for my double weak to fairy backline. Right. And I was still able to win it. So it was kind of insane. But
yeah, how do you feel about like Metagross and Yveltal?
Metagross is good. It's actually, I think it's actually not bad. Like Yveltal awkwardly cannot really just sucker punch all the way down. Like 2 meter matches and plus a Shadow Call damage like pretty much KOs you. So you kind of have to throw a move there. And I think it's a good dynamic because there's not much that Yveltal even walls off despite the dark typing into like Ghost or Psychic. But like Mewtwo that's not running Ice Beam is like pretty easy to deal with. But I also have like one Mewtwo and I think they probably stopped using Mewtwo after that battle because
I feel like Mewtwo's not that good anymore.
Yeah. I faced like 1 or 2 Giratina Origin, but again, I think they probably stopped using it after that. And this one was running Dragon Pulse for what it was worth, so they had a little bit of coverage. But the more common things you'll see that you bring Yveltal to counter is like Lunala, and it has Moonblast, so it does a good chunk. Sucker Punch is still kind of a crazy move, so you can still Sucker Punch all the way down, but it's uncomfortable for health-wise purposes. You have Focus Blast for Zacian, Oblivion Wing for the other fairies, so it's actually it's a good dynamic in my mind. I think Yveltal, I did run at least like 50 plus battles with Yveltal on my team, and it was pretty fun. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Master League. I think they did a good job of balancing things. I'm trying to think what's like super overtuned right now, but I don't know. I think it's in a good place.
I feel like the only potentially overtuned things would be like Palkia and Zacian still, but
Palkia's not in my mind. And then Zacian, yes, just because it's kind of a powerhouse in terms of his typing and move coverage, but it doesn't feel any better than past seasons.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's just kind of like how you just have to deal with it, right? Because like unless they like complete change like Behemoth Blade or nerf Metal Claw or something,
right?
Again,
yeah,
like, it's just I think it's fine. I think it's quite.
Yeah, and I mean, if they're bringing up the floor of other things that have more play too, like that's not bad. Yeah. Like have you played any Lunala? How's Lunala?
I don't have Lunala. Yeah, I don't have that one. I don't have the XLs and I don't have the Hundo. So, but I think it's good. I think it's really solid because the pacing to Shadow Ball is pretty fast now. And you just have really good coverage. I don't really think Lunala is really walled off by anything, right? Is there like a
Ghost Fairy's like really good coverage?
Yeah, Dark Steel will probably be the only thing, but like I don't think there's any relevant Dark Steel.
I mean, technically King Gambit, but I mean, you'd still be neutral with Moonblast and even into a Dark Steel. So
that's true. You're right. So there's nothing that really walls off. You would need like Dark Fire. No, not Dark Fire because the Moonblast is still neutral. Is there anything that walls off Dark Ghost?
You'd need like normal
Ghost Fairy.
Normal fire or normal steel. I don't think normal steel is a thing though, or normal poison, I guess. But like,
I don't think
those aren't even relevant in Master League.
Yeah, normal fire. Yeah, I mean, I guess you run like a Litleo, but that'd be kind of.
Yeah, like Master League Pyro is not a thing.
Wait, what was the BTW challenge again? Because I didn't read through the whole thing. Is it like they had to try to win games running Great League Pokemon at Ultra League? Is that what the challenge was?
There's like 18 different challenges or 16 different challenges.
Because I ran into Will Hud, one of our fellow listeners, but also obviously a listener at BTW, running in Ultra League. He ran a Wigglytuff, but this wasn't like Wigglytuff in the 2000 CP, right? Like just under 2000 or whatever. He was running a 1500 Wigglytuff.
Yeah, so one of the challenges is you have to like win like basically a league up. So either like in Ultra League with Great League Pokemon or in Master League with Ultra League Pokemon.
Dude, that's so
Great
hard.
League with Little Cup.
Oh, that's even crazy. Oh, well, yeah, I don't think Shuckle could put in that much work. But
no.
Shuckle Meryl. But yeah, but I ran to Will Hud. He did lead his Wigglytuff into my Tyranitar. Shout out Tyranitar. But then I safe swapped a Feraligatr and he comes in a Azumarill. It was a Azumarill and Bastion on the back, right? So he kind of had to swap out, I guess. I mean, I guess he could have stayed in a little bit, but like, dude, the damage, like the difference of 1000 CP is like pretty noticeable. The play rough looked like power punch damage against my Feraligatr, but the damage didn't increase. That's like about how much of the health bar it took down, and it was doing resisted bubble. I was like, bro, what? I was like, there's no way I lose switch here. And then the Bastion against the Tyranitar. For once, Tyranitar actually looked a little bit better in that matchup, but not by much actually. For what it's worth, it actually didn't look that much better. And then yeah, it was tough. I think I was the first person he played when he tried that challenge, and I was just like, I was like, hey, I didn't know what it was at first. I was like, dude, this guy's using like again, you can max a Azumarill past 1500, same thing with Bastion and Wigglytuff. So I thought like he's going to try to like run 100% one, but no, these were like straight up 1500, which makes it a lot harder. I don't know how much easier it is with like. I mean, I think a few levels actually does make a difference, right? But
I mean, if you can go past 1500, then. I mean, you know, there's Great League ones that go to Ultra League, you know?
Yeah. So, Good luck to people that do that challenge. I don't know how many people actually like won games with it, but
I think only a couple people have, and I think
Bastion's a smart pick though, because you have sap product, and if you lock into like a Town Flame or maybe a Typhlosion, you're kind of good.
I think of the people that did it, it was partially as a result of trying it enough that their ELO dropped enough that, I mean, I'm sure they had like some sort of like team comp advantage, but I think they also like dropped ELO enough that like part of the win con was the opponent playing poorly. Like it's still impressive regardless to pull that off, like whether your opponent plays well or not.
Yeah.
But like I think the like losing ELO and playing worse opponents is definitely part of it as well.
Yeah. I think so.
I think I heard that he did succeed eventually. Yeah, I think he maybe lost like 20 battles first or something, but I think he eventually succeeded from what I heard.
Glad I could be the one to start that 20 lose streak off, right? I mean, I don't know what. I wonder if he just ran the same team or not, because it's not a bad team, right? You have a lot of bulk and stat product on all three Pokemon, but yeah, for Ultra
I feel like it has to be like that team or something similar, like because you just need the stats. I know.
I wonder if you run like an Umbreon or a Mandibus or something for Jellicents, but
I can't remember the whole team. I know Motiques from Wing Attack did it. I know he used a Dugong, and I don't remember what the rest of his team was.
Dugong's kind of solid, kind of crazy, I feel like, because it's not that bulky.
But he was saying that he was using it for like artificial bulk with the Icy Winds, and I think he was saying he was also seeing a lot of Zygardes.
I guess you could safe swap with it. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, if you get it in Zygarde, it's pretty solid.
I don't know if he did get it on Zygarde, but he was just saying he was seeing a lot of Zygardes, so he gave it a try.
That's a good point. Okay. Well, yeah.
Well, maybe after you finish this ELO bet with Anacore, you can give it a shot.
I need to take a look at the rules. I don't know. I like that's just dude, I might not win a single battle my entire stream if I do that. But especially where I'm at right now, right? I don't think I'll face anyone that will misplay that badly. But wait, what is the elo that you two are at, by the way? This is kind of like a gauge for me to like know like what Anacore might be at, right?
Yeah.
Assuming he's like played similar amounts.
Oh yeah. Well, choose me first.
I mean, I'm guessing Steve doesn't even have one.
Hey,
but
I was playing sets yesterday. Come on.
Yes, you got up to rank 12. Surely. I think I was like 2,500-ish. I probably dropped to like 24s somewhere in there.
Okay. That's actually pretty high though. You've been playing a lot, or you just been winning a lot?
I mean, I haven't been playing a lot. I literally didn't play at all during the like Scroll Cup Ultra League week.
Okay.
And then I just got kind of hot in Holiday Cup. I don't even know how, because I feel like my team isn't even that good. But I was just like pulling off a bunch of 3-2s and 4-1s.
I saw you post something where you had a crazy win streak for one of the days, right?
That was back during Go Battle Week.
What? Yeah, but it was still something crazy. What did you hit again? I remember seeing it. I was like, what the heck is this like win streak?
Oh, I think it was like
you went like 23-2 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I haven't using that good in a long time.
Like, yeah, that was Open Great League. I was running like Guzzlord, Gorgeist, and Jellicent, I think was the team.
Were you like really low in the rankings, or were you just?
I don't think I would.
Because if you win that much, you should be like pretty high at a certain point anyway.
I think.
I'm not trying to doubt your natural skills here. Maybe you just played like crazy, right? Like,
I mean, I think
that's wild.
I mean, I will say the team was very good. Yeah. I know other people that were maybe not quite as good of a win streak, but I know a few other people that were using the same team that also were doing really well.
It was Guzzlord and what again?
It was Guzzlord with Gorgeist Safe Swap and then Jellicent in the back.
How do you deal with Wigglytuff? I see way too many Wigglytuffs to make that work.
I was actually Wiggly was annoying, but I beat a decent chunk of them actually.
Well, you had to have because you didn't really lose at all. Like what?
I mean, the Gorgeist like does some decent damage.
If they stay in, right? But
also like,
I guess Jellicent resists all the charge attacks. So
yeah, Jelly resists all the charge attacks.
Does Jellicent even lose that matchup?
I think it might depend on the shielding scenario.
That's actually,
But then also like I was also like often able to get like honestly the thing that was more annoying was a Alolan Ninetales usually.
Oh yeah, especially Powder Snow.
Yeah, exactly. But usually against an Alolan Ninetales team or a Wigglytuff. Well, yeah, I would.
Well, yeah, but you need to line it up, yeah.
But I would usually. The thing is, like with Guzzler, like I had Sludge Bomb, so like if I get reverse farm on something, I can Sludge Bomb like a Wiggly or an Alolan Ninetales for like some pretty decent damage. But like I wouldn't say I was like really low to start with, but before that I was definitely like I think I was messing around with I don't even remember the team now. It was some Ludicolo team that I was having fun with, but was probably only winning like 40-50% of the time. So like I don't think my ELO was terrible to start, but it wasn't like amazing. Yeah. Like I probably started in like the 22s during that streak maybe. I don't remember now. That was a couple weeks ago.
Were you running the BDW challenge? Because I know there's one with Ludicolo in there.
No, I was just messing around with Ludicolo because it was like the first few days of the season and I wanted to try it out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think Ludicolo is like particularly that amazing in like any of the leagues for what it's worth. But I mean, I've lost a few for what it's worth. But I
think it's got like solid core breaking potential.
I don't think you used it in the championship series still ever, right?
Maybe not. I'm sure someone will do well with it.
Slow and non-stab. It's just the Leaf Storm is so hard to land. I mean, obviously you don't have.
I was running. What's the other? Is it Energy Ball? Yeah, I was running Energy Ball when I ran it. Because it's like Leaf Storm hits hard, but it's so awkward against like a water type if they shield like the first one, or even if they double shield.
Yeah.
Versus like the Energy Ball is like consistent damage, and you don't have to debuff yourself. When I was using it, I feel like there was a decent number of games I actually ended up. I feel like I won because I had the Energy Ball. Because it was like they had two Mons left, and it was like one was a water type that they came in with first, and it's like being able to take that out without debuffing myself was like pretty helpful. So I see the value of Leaf Storm 2 because it just hits so hard, and it can be like it's one of those moves that's basically a coverage move, even if it's resisted because it hits so hard. But not having to debuff yourself, I feel like is pretty valuable at times too. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's a solid option, but we'll give you all an update on what GPL looks like next week. Let's talk quickly about Championship Series because we did have EUIC registration come out.
It's gone.
At 510. Is it 510 the cap?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of crazy. I mean, EUIC always like shows up, right? The timing of the event, I think, is really solid. The ease of travel within Europe, I think, is really solid. And there's just like a strong European player base. But I feel like there's also a lot of people from NA, a couple from LATAM, and from like it's a like nice central location, right? People in Asia will like probably go to EUIC over any of the other ICs.
Yeah, I think it's Charming Pori, I think, is going. I think Beelzebub is going.
Yeah.
I think maybe some Japanese players too. So there should be a decent like contingent of like players from Asia as well.
Well, the European crowd honestly like filled up a lot of the spots even before a lot of people from other regions started going. But especially with more people from other regions started going too, it just continues to cap out, which is good. I mean, that's something you want to see. I mean, we talked a little bit about last week about how to grow the scene a bit, but I mean, maybe just host every tournament at the XL Center.
I mean,
not actually though. That's not.
Well, and the thing too is not only did it cap, but it capped within like maybe like 3 or 4 hours of Wave 2 opening. Like less like.
I'm surprised it even took that long because there's still a chance there might be some like no-show spectator stuff, right? Shenanigans going on, but.
I mean, it might have been less. It's just that's when I saw someone post that it was at like 5:10 or something. Yeah. So I don't know like exactly when it capped. I just know someone posted about it a few hours later.
I mean, I think it caps like pretty instantly after the wave came out. Both times, actually.
Is that still a top 32 for day 2?
Oh.
Would it possibly be a top 64?
I mean, I don't know because
The math.
not just the math, but because they do the 3-day tournaments differently than the 2-day tournament.
I would actually guess yes.
But the third day is still just
because
always
it's
the
like,
top 3 or top 2, right? No matter what.
It's like
Yeah.
actually compared to the last EUIC, isn't an identical number of rounds. There's just more people.
Say that again?
So like last EUIC there was more than 256, right? And we've got to hit 512 before we get another round. So it's actually the exact same tournament size. There's just more people filling
I
up.
mean, I guess
there's just more rounds in day 1.
Well, there's more people playing in the first round, but it's the same number of rounds.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
So like the first round might take longer because there's more chance of like, something going over or something going wrong.
For what it's worth, I don't really want a top 62 for day 2. I think that's just way too big, and we would barely. I don't know if production could even cover every winners match.
Nah.
Well, no, they probably can. They definitely can. They just cut out a lot of losers. Yeah, they just cut out a lot of losers. Yeah. They definitely could because there's not that much more winners, right? But I mean, I don't think that's like a bad thing in a way either. Because if we want the game to grow, it has to come to a point where we can't watch every most of the matches on day 2, right? Like, there's no way for VG or TCG you're watching most of the matches, right?
Well, I mean, the thing too is, I mean, we know this one is still double elim because it was said so at registration, but like.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
If we're wanting to switch to Swiss anyways, we're gonna see way less of the matches.
Yeah.
Like think about VG and TCG. Like there's way less matches on broadcast, and there's a lot more downtime. Yeah. Which again, it is what it is, and I think Swiss is gonna be better for the player base and growing the competitive scene. But it definitely does mean production and the stream takes a hit in that regard because you can't see quite as much.
I mean, frankly, I still feel like I think this is something that one of the Aussie casters, Dr. Trotter, has talked about a bit, but you can relatively simply split it can still be Swiss, but you still split into groups. And so you can still have one group, round 1 starts, you have someone on stream, and then as soon as that finishes, you go to a round 2 match on stream, then you go to a group 3 match on stream. Like, there's still ways to run Swiss in a way that you can keep massive broadcast numbers if you so desired and still make it a little bit more fair than double elim shenanigans. Even if you only split it in 2, that's still big, and then you combine later. But there are ways around it, I think.
These are all good reasons to potentially have Swiss one day, but obviously if we have a lot of people like this, that's at least 500 phones you need set up. I think the actual spacing limitation could also be a factor down the road because currently the Go area is pretty small, right, compared to VG and TCG. But if we do Swiss, we're gonna have to more than triple or quadruple the size, right? Because right now, it's how many tables? 30-something tables, right? That's only 60-something people. You're gonna need at least 2 or 3 times the size, at a minimum, actually. Yeah. So I don't think it's a bad thing. I do think. I mean, this little foresight. It's a foresight. Foreshadowing. Sorry, foreshadowing into our YouTube comments. But I do think that is something that would potentially sit well with people. So the question is, can the Pokemon Company implement it, or do they want to? Is a different story.
I mean, they seem to want to because they teased it for this season. Clearly, it seems like
that's true.
Figuring out the logistics of implementing it is maybe taking them longer than they had hoped.
Logistics and game stability is probably the biggest concern. Because even if they figure out the logistics, if the game's not stable enough and we have what our current tournament hours are could end an hour or 2 even later than usually what we end. If dispute there's just way too many game issues, right? That leads to reviews, disputes, all those things, and it drags the stuff on. Because you can't leave if you want to leave early, right? There's not you were in bracket A, so you end up early, so you could go home a little bit. No, every player has to stay until the very end, right? If you're doing Switch.
I mean, unless you
don't drop
out.
Unless you drop, yeah. But for the players that are still relevant, that could win it all, they need to stay for the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. And that's been my one main concern with Swiss. And I mean, I agree with everyone that I think it would help grow the scene, but that's been my one concern is a Swiss round doesn't advance until everyone's finished their previous round.
So what I'm wondering is, do you think the Pokemon Company will give up spots for Go over the other games? Because right now TCG and VGC cap out every single event.
Mm-hmm.
But the venue sizes can only get so much bigger, right? Like sometimes some of these like we're already using the biggest venue in this city or this city, etc. So the space is already maxed out, is my guess, for TCG and VGC, right?
Well,
like with them,
the next step is you start splitting venues. You start saying Go players go here, TCG players go here, sort of vibe, and it's not in the same room.
and well, so
Yeah,
then
I think
That's the only way to, if you've already
location-wise.
maxed out a venue space, like you've got the biggest room and you want the
Right.
numbers to go up, then you say, okay, this massive venue space is going to
Sure.
only be for TCG and Go.
No,
and then
I get
VG,
you.
we're gonna, yeah.
But
Right,
that's like a much harder task because that double or triples their budget, right?
Oh
for
yeah.
this stuff.
I mean, they're increasing their budget the more they pay. Like I know how in Oceania, like they book corridors basically of this venue space, and when they book another corridor, it doubles the size of the room.
Sure, no, I get that, right? But booking an extra corridor compared to booking a whole different venue for for what the games
well,
could
I
be
don't
a
know
little bit
about
different,
another
right?
venue, but the thing is,
just
like,
another hall in the same
right. Like
venue.
a lot of these are at a
True.
convention center, right?
Yeah,
and most of the time we're booking out hall. I don't know.
That does still
or
double or
something.
triple the cost, right? I mean,
Right.
not to say,
but like,
I mean, I guess if you
about-
add another quarter, that could double your cost, but like the cost is already a little bit more minimal.
right. But like, think about like Worlds, right? Like at Worlds, there was like what three or four halls were used for all of Worlds, as opposed to like a lot of these regionals are just using like one hall. So like, I could see a case where they expand to like using additional halls maybe at the convention center.
I mean, I think you could justify using 2 or 3 or 4 halls for Worlds, right? For like a random regional in the Midwest or on the West Coast or East Coast, whatever. Like, I think it's a little bit harder to.
I mean, if the numbers are getting there and the goal is to grow it,
the numbers are there. Well, for VG and TCG, they could have done this already, but they haven't.
Well, the thing is, like, you would need the numbers to go to be high enough to be able to maximize the space of 2 halls, right?
Well, they're slowly increasing. Like Vegas was the biggest TCG tournament of all time. Regional, not IC, regional. But like,
every
so
regional
it
like
is,
that. But
they are slowly expanding. So like, it is going to have to move in that direction by force, unless they decide to just stop growth. Like it's just the reality, because
I hope so. Yeah, I think just like my concern is for the time being, because that's a huge task, right? That's a huge thing that like maybe it's something they already thought. They probably have thought about this, right? Whether they do it or not is a different story. But if they don't do that and we implement Swiss for Go, theoretically speaking, they do have to take away spots from TCG and VGC, right? Like there's just no way they could fit. Well, maybe they could make some extra tables work, but at a certain point, it's going to cut from somewhere, right? And obviously, we can't cut from ourselves. So, anyway, speaking of regionals and events, they did announce.
Before that, I've got a dip.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. Okay. So as we were saying, they released a few more events. I think does this round out all of our remaining events this season? I think so.
Yeah. I mean, unless we get like surprise, like South Africa or something.
Oh, sure. I guess so.
But this rounds out our NA events, anyways.
Yeah, NA, Europe, and LATAM, I think, right, are all.
And Oceania.
And Oceania, yeah. So, San Juan, Puerto Rico, is March 7th to the 8th. We did talk about that briefly last week. So we'll see what that looks like and how fast that fills up. Because last year we didn't have a lot of spots. Is a thing. So it's also kind of hard to gauge how. It's hard to make that competitive, like for the locals, because not a lot of them sign up. But it's also hard to consider that super competitive on just in general, because there's just only so many spots. Like, what was the spots last year? Like 30, 20 something? It was pretty.
Probably, I don't know.
It's like there's some cups that are bigger than that,
Yeah.
Doesn't diminish like anyone like that performed well in that one, but it does. Like there were some good players that went for what it's worth, but they just didn't have to win as many to even get as far, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Hopefully they do increase it. We'd like to see that. Honestly, I be okay with it being around if it's just like treated as like the same size as any potential other like regional in NA. But I just don't know if they have the infrastructure for that. So
I don't think there's any way it's going to be the same size as like the smallest NA regional.
Yeah, maybe like I think I'll be a cap 100 or something. I think it's like solid, but again, I don't know if they have the
I
infrastructure.
doubt. Like, I don't even know like if it's gonna. Like, I don't even know if they would be able to mirror the caps they have in Oceania. Like,
yeah. Okay, this is a big one too. LA, it's back. Last time we had one in 2024. We have it around the same time as we had it last time, May 9th to the 10th. And then Indianapolis will cap off the season 30th to the 31st. Yeah, so 2 tournaments in May, but essentially like a month apart. And yeah, those are the ones that we're waiting for, and we do have it filled out.
I know there's a few people that I think are doing the crazy 3 weeks in a row of Indianapolis Regional into Chicago Go Fest into NAIC.
If you're from like Europe or a different region, that does make sense. But also Chicago and Indianapolis are both in the Midwest, right? So
right, but it's still bad. 3 weeks in a row. Like,
that is true.
Like,
dude, might as well just make it like 7 weeks in a row and stop by LA first, and just travel a bit. But
no, I'm saying like people from like NA even, but
no,
like,
I know,
taking up their weekends and stuff.
I get what you're saying. But if you're from NA, like, make this make sense to me, right? What are you just taking like 3 weeks off from life, I guess? Because if you're in the local area, you're definitely gonna go home, right? Like if you're from like Indiana or Illinois or something, you just go back home between. So the people that actually do like back to back to back and like go to all of them are probably not from the area. But like, I don't know, wouldn't you just go home in between if you're from NA? I think this makes sense if you're like a European or a Latin player.
No? Well, no, I think you'd have to, because I think these people have work.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so okay, I guess the way I interpret it is you meant like they would just stay in the area and just go.
No, I'm saying like
what a lot of people did last year for GoFest and.
Oh no, I was saying like people that just have like are planning on just like basically barely being at home for 3 weeks straight and just like doing nonstop Pokemon events.
Yeah. I mean, that I think is very possible and likely too for some players, which I think is fine, right? Especially if you're from the Midwest area, like you could easily go to Indianapolis and Chicago and just take a plane ride down to New Orleans. New Orleans, for what it's worth, is also pretty cheap to fly to, which I do appreciate, because Columbus was not cheap at all. My flight to Columbus was like more expensive than my flight to Japan.
Wait, what?
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Did you book it like last minute or something?
Well, I worked at NAIC, so they booked it like a few weeks out. But a few weeks out, still like not that last minute, right? For NAIC. And it wasn't even a direct flight. But then my
crazy.
Flight, it was like, I think it was expensive. Not by a lot, but it was expensive. Yeah, more expensive than Japan. So I think it's just the airport itself is not as big either. But
also the airport check-in for NAIC is super nice. Big fan of that.
The airport chicken? Wait, what?
Check-in.
Oh, check-in. For New Orleans?
Yeah.
I honestly didn't really like make a note of that in particular, but yeah, it might be the case. I'm still caught on the chicken part, but.
Oh, did you not do that when you competed? You didn't like do that?
I see what you're saying. Sorry. I was thinking about like boarding like a plane check-in, like going through security check.
No, I said for NAIC.
Well, I know, but I thought you meant like for New Orleans. I forgot what you meant, like actually like picking up your badge like at the airport. Yes, 100%. That's really nice. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they could do that at any future airport if they ever change the location of NAIC. But yeah, that is a huge quality of life change, and something that I took advantage of for the past 2 years, even as like even my staff badge was there, actually, I think.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
So I mean, staff badges are not too hard to get on a regular basis anyway, but still, it's nice to get it right when you land. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much that. So we will we'll see how the rest events turn out in terms of attendance, but it's nice that we have those locked in. Is Seattle registrations already out?
Yeah, it opened yesterday.
Oh, I think I saw your message on it, but then I forgot if you posted today or yesterday. All right, well, I'll take a look at that. But what were you saying?
I was going to ask if you were doing Seattle and if you'd signed up yet.
Yes, I not signed up, but I have. I am planning on doing it. If they sold out already, that's crazy for Go. But
I think someone told me it was at like 50-ish people so far, maybe like 50, 60.
Pacific Northwest numbers is probably pretty standard for that. I mean, they've been growing over the years, right? Like I think Portland last year was the most they ever had at like 100 something, but generally speaking, it's a little bit smaller attendance than other areas because it's pretty far out for most people.
I think there's more people coming because it is Seattle. And it's a little easier to get to, and it's a little bit of a bigger city.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, yeah, I feel like 50-ish people for like within less than 24 hours isn't bad because a lot of people tend to wait to register anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Be sure to register for those if anyone that's. I know there's a decent amount of podcast listeners that plan on going to the two based on what I've talked to you in person. So we'll see some of you there. All right. Let's talk about the YouTube comments because we have a couple from last week and
we have quite a few.
I mean,
I think that's the most we've had in a while. So shout out to everyone who commented.
Heck yeah. It's probably because of all like the conversation we had last episode that really drove some of the participation up, which was good. Okay, so let's a lot of comments. 10 in total actually, which is quite a bit. All right, so we'll go with Gen comment first. This is not Popping Gen, it's just YouTube Gen. Same Gen, but comments on YouTube this time. Ludicole is absolutely a bird. Duck is a duck is a duck. And then she also says, as someone who replays Pokemon Silver / Crystal at least yearly, Kayla's memory is right. Sudowoodo blocks a path from Goldenrod to... Is it Goldenrod or Golden Road? She wrote
Goldenrod. That's the city.
It's Goldenrod? Okay, to Ikutik? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Until you get the watering can from the Flower Lady in Goldenrod after beating Whitney. The strange, in quotes, the strange tree reacted to the water. The strange tree attacked. Yeah, I mean, I know you're saying my memory serves me right, but I legit don't remember that much. I had like some general idea of like, you gotta do something with it, right? Because I do remember that from the... I like, honestly, I wasn't sure if it was from when I was playing Pokemon Silver as a kid or I was watching the anime and something in the anime happened similar to that. Because I do remember watching like all of Gen 2's anime as well for Pokemon, so...
it might have been both. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been both. Yeah, there should have been at least a Sudowoodo scene, if I guess. AJ left us a heart, and the Infinite Smash says, "Can we just do online Cubs challenges and stop hoping shops to exist everywhere, and then also want to hold cups and challenges for a game they can't sell you something in their shop? Let's utilize Campfire and have a Candle Cult style tournaments. They have the ability to do better." And then also said rental teams, accessible resources like rare candies. It's not like Niantic. It's not a Niantic anymore. Let's give people what they want or risk losing trainers. Well, let's talk about the first part. So I think the online cups and challenges is a potential because they do have stuff like this for VG, right?
Right.
That counts officially. I don't know exactly how it goes and how many points they award, but so I feel like online cups and challenges, would it restrict you to a specific locality? Because otherwise, the online cups and challenges might be bigger than like some regionals. Like I could easily be facing like the Inadequates or something in one of these tournaments if it's just online, right?
I mean, I guess it depends how they structure it. In terms of like, who's allowed to enter? Like
I'm trying to see if there's any drawbacks. The only drawback is the potential for like cheating in the sense that you have someone play your account for you. There's no way you can prevent that. But that's the thing that could happen in VG as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I know big esports, what they do is they require players to do online tournaments to stream their face cam when they play. But that still could be a way you could still skirt the rules around that even in Pokemon Go because they're not like you're not like at a computer just holding a phone. They don't know what's on your phone. I guess you could show it to the webcam, right? That could be a thing.
Yeah,
but I don't think we're at that level.
I mean, the other thing with like online tournaments is you have to figure out like staffing for it.
Staffing. There could be a good chunk of delays if there's any like reviews, disputes, etc. Because you have to like upload the footage.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot more logistical issues. Not that I don't like the idea, but there's a lot of logistical issues that have to be considered for these kind of things, for it to be a possibility. But I don't think like I'm at the point where I don't think online tournaments are necessarily a bad thing, especially if it's like a show 6 format. I don't love the GBL thing as much because you can't review any battles if you lag out. There's so many like potential like exploits down the road, or exploits that have existed that you could cheat your way to the top, and then
For
also the
sure,
format's
yeah.
just like way different than the actual championship series, right? But I do think that kind of stuff is possible. Yeah, I mean, you know, admittedly, I went to a Challenge Cup this past weekend, and we like barely had enough people to run into, and I'm in LA, so
Yeah, and that's
but
definitely.
I actually don't like that they reduced the cups and challenge numbers. Like, yes, it. So obviously, places that don't have card shops to host these things are at a disadvantage no matter what. I think them cutting down the amount of challenges and cups makes it a slightly even playing field, but you're still down like 200 something points if you don't have any, right? You can make the argument that, oh, if you just go to enough regionals, you can just use those and maybe those will be enough. But one, the challenge and cups and regionals are very hard to win. Two, if you're going that many regionals, you probably should be able to scrounge up enough points just from regionals alone to qualify, right? Without doing those challenges and cups. And if you aren't winning enough, then the challenge and cups that you perform in regionals are probably not enough to qualify for Worlds anyway, because you're not getting enough points from regionals. I think this is my take, at least. I don't know what you think about this, Tristan, but I think them reducing the amount of challenges and cups from 8 for challenges and 8 for cups to count towards your World's qualification to having him to 4 and 4.
No, it was 6, by the way.
Oh, 6. Okay.
It's still reduced.
That doesn't even seem that big of a difference then. But I think reducing this from 6 to 4 actually cut the participation down from locals.
I agree.
At least from my experience. Did you say you agree?
I agree. I noticed that like in fairness, I also didn't go to as many cups and challenges last season compared to the season before, but I definitely noticed that like participation was down, and it was like I was sort of scrambling towards the end of last season because I was like early on, like because it was only 4 and 4, like I was like, oh, like I was like more likely to skip events just to do other live stuff because I was like, oh, only need 4 and 4.
Right.
And like especially with challenges, right? I was like, early season, I was like, oh well, there's a challenge at every location every month, and like there's a decent number of stores in the area here that host stuff. Granted, like the area is sort of spread out. Like I'm saying, oftentimes I have to drive, 45 minutes or an hour to get to something.
Yeah.
But like there's a decent number of places within like an hour drive. So if I'm willing to make the drive, there's a decent number of options for me. So I was like, oh, well, there's, a decent number of places that host. Challenges happen every month times however many stores. There's a ton of opportunities. But what I didn't think about is because there's so many more challenges, people are more likely to max out their challenge points early on and then stop going. So at the end of the season, I was actually needing challenges more than cups, actually.
Yeah.
Because it was like I didn't have all 4 challenges for points yet. Versus like I think my cups were all first and seconds. So it was like, well, if I go to a cup, best case I win and I upgrade a second to a first is plus 10 points.
Right.
Which is less than even if I get like 4th place at a challenge.
Right.
So I was actually hunting for challenges more than cups. And those were the ones that were harder to get numbers because people were like already less interested because they were already done.
Yeah, or they like almost max out and they're just like, I can't really upgrade by much. So yeah, like I'm done with challenges this season, and like my local Corey's like done with cups. I don't even know if he needs to finish any challenges. He might be done in general, and it's like we're not even halfway through the season, So, and like we're like 2 of the players that go to almost all of them. So if we're not there, that's like already
2 less people. Yeah. But yeah, I noticed that too, and I don't know what the answer is because like I do like the fact that like it was definitely like obviously I was stressing at the end of the season, but it was nice that I only had to worry about getting points for like 4 and 4 as opposed to 6 and 6.
Well,
and
you don't
if
have
you're
to
trying,
max them out per se either, right? Even if it's like 6 and 6, you could have still done 4 out of 6 or
right, but if you're trying to
first,
max them out because you
Sure,
think you need the points, right? It's nice that you have less to like stress about in that regard. And
I feel for the card shops too, because if less people are going because they've already maxed out, like they're just spending time hosting events and no one shows up and it just feels bad too, you know? Like
yeah,
I've been to
and I
card
don't
shops where it's
know,
like we don't have enough people for this. It's
right?
like, okay,
Yeah, I
well,
don't know what the answer is. But like I see why they went to 4 and 4, but I also see the drawback in terms of like interest is less. I will say that like in terms of like travel award, I think having the limit set 4 makes more sense because like going for 6 and 6 in a single travel award period is like kind of crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy actually. I think it's quite doable. Having gone to like, again, this is assuming you want to travel, right? So these people are pretty committed. I mean, of course, if you live in an area that doesn't have a lot of options, then yeah, you're kind of shot out of luck. But you at that point, like you might just say locals don't even count towards travel award, right? If you really want to make it that fair for people that do travel award, but also for travel award, in my mind, I feel like this is like queue times for GBO as like an issue. It affects such a small percentage of players that I don't think you should change the rules just for them, right? And you
For
can make a
sure.
special rule
Yeah.
for those, right? Again, you can make it so they don't count towards travel award. You can make it so like only like your best 3. I don't know, right? But you can make those alterations because it only impacts like such a small percentage of players. But the majority of players are, for whatever reason, right? Like it could be this, could be other reasons. They're just less participation in locals, you know. I think obviously as a whole, there's got to be less because you're going to max out 4 cups, 4 challenges faster than you'll max out 6 and 6. So at a baseline, the fact that they just reduced the size already is like it was guaranteed to reduce the participation of locals.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hope they revert it because I don't think that was their intention, but it is like a clear as day symptom of
right.
what they're doing, right? Like it's like, of course, if you do this, people are going to go to less, you know? Like how many people really keep going to cups and challenges after they already maxed out? Not a lot, you know. I might still go to a challenge here there just for the practice, but like I probably won't go to challenge by itself. If it's like a challenge and then cup after, I'll go to those, right? But I probably wouldn't go to a challenge by itself anymore because like I'm already maxed out. Who cares, right? I'm not going for challenge award.
What do you think about? I just thought of this because like I feel like challenges have less interest in general. How would you feel if they like got rid of challenges and then increased the number of like cups that counted for points?
Yes, I like that a lot more. Honestly, the challenge and the cup thing, I don't even like it that much because in a sense, a challenge could be harder than a cup and a cup can be easier than a challenge. Like it's just a nomenclature thing. And like in theory, cups should bring out more people. Dude, there were the same amount of people at the challenge and the cup this past weekend, right? Because it was just like if you like most people were going to go for them anyway.
Right, it's because they do them like back to back, which is strategically smart. But I mean, the only real difference right now is that challenges can be hosted every month and cups can be hosted once a quarter.
Yeah.
But
I think if it's just all the same thing, like cups and challenges are the same thing, we have like, I don't know, 8 you can max out, and there's not a limitation on you can host like 1 every quarter or something. Like, I don't even know the full rationale. Like, I'm sure there was a lot of rationale when it came to developing the system, but I do think it's something that maybe the people that designed the system should take a look at again, or maybe even the people that designed it, if they're not even at the company or in a different position, people that are in charge of it now should take a look at it again. See, does it still make sense? I feel like it almost feels a little bit archaic, and like it's like we're doing like I feel like I know there's a lot of justification for having a cup versus a challenge, right? Like the whole system. But I feel like a lot of times when you talk about it, we're doing like reverse justification. Like we're saying like, oh, well, you know, if we only have it once every quarter, then theoretically more people should show up, right? Like that's the thought process, which is like fine. But when there isn't a difference between the amount of people that show up for a challenge and cup, now what's your argument, right? It doesn't make any sense. And obviously sometimes a lot of people, there will be more people at the cup, but I think the majority of the time, at least based on my experience, there's the same amount of people.
I mean, yeah, if they're hosted like back to back, it's the same for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like
or there's more for cups later on because people have already maxed out the challenges. But it's not because it's a cup they're going. They're going. They're going for the cup, but it's because there's just less chances for them to get cup points, so it's harder to max them out, and that's why more people go to them. But it's not because it's the cup itself. It's just that it's a bigger pain in the butt to complete the maxing out of a cup versus a challenge.
I think it's a combination of the fact that cups give significantly more points, and the fact that they're less frequent, so like you said, it's harder to get the points and max them out. I think it's like both of those together, because like I definitely noticed like that there would be some people that would show up for cups that I would never see at challenges ever. Like back when he competed, like Rubik's Master was one of those. I hardly ever saw him at challenges. Usually only challenges that were like back to back with cups. But like he would make the effort to come out to like cups as much as he could, but I hardly ever saw him at challenges.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like people just don't see it. People just don't feel like it's worth the time of like, right? Because again, like cups and challenges, at least for Go, usually take roughly the same amount of time. Obviously, it depends on attendance. Like a 4-person challenge is going to be way less than like if you have 15 people for a cup or something. But like, people just don't see it worth the time for like 15 points max.
Yeah.
But like, I guess on the flip side, I can like see why they want it, even if it's not working out well, is like, and I think like it works better for like TCG, and I think Go and VG aren't as established the same way, but it's like their goal is like to like build up these like leagues at local card shops, right? And I think because the thing is like, especially for TCG, a lot of these places that host cups and challenges, they often host like once a week, just like casual league play where there's no championship points. And it's just to like encourage people to like come into this store, like hang out and like play together and like foster this community. And so I feel like if you have an active like casual league scene like that, it's easier. Like say you're doing league like, I don't know, 3 Tuesdays a month, and then the 4th Tuesday is like your challenge. Like I feel like that is like a logical sort of progression pipeline. But the thing is, those like casual leagues for Go just aren't really a thing. So for us, the system just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think if we legitimately get rid of cups or challenges, whatever, and just make them into one thing, and you make it so that each card shop can host once a month, it just simplifies everything, right? Because now, like, card shops are trying to juggle, like, okay, well, we got to host the challenge first, then the cup on the same day, because that's the best way to get people going. But if everything's a consistent way, you say, oh, like, you could literally work it out between the card shops. Say, oh, this card shop you host every, like, first Saturday of the month. This card shop you host every second Saturday of the month, right? This one, and like all of a sudden you have like something every single week that players can go to, and it could be like a regular thing that players build a culture around. Instead, now we're like, oh, I don't know, it's like another 3 months later before we see each other again at the next cup, so we'll see you then or something. You know, it's just like really random. Like there's no like rhyme or reason to when the card shops host these things either, because they're trying to like figure it out. And I feel bad because I feel like a lot of them host challenges and no one goes to them. Like, if I was a card shop, I feel like I just would stop hosting events at a certain point, right? Just for what? A Pokestop? Like, you know, I mean, some of them might still do that, but a lot of them probably don't.
Yeah, and again, I feel like the other thing, though, which is, I mean, I still agree that probably combining them makes sense, but, like, I do think that there needs to be, like I said last week, some, I don't know what it would be, but, like, better incentives to get people to actually come out, because it's, like, even having like the numbers just aren't there, and
the numbers aren't there, and it's not helping us grow the game, right? If the numbers aren't there, but it's hard to keep people invested, because also the thing is we only have a tournament once a month, right, in each region, and not most people don't leave their region to participate. For what it's worth, most people also don't go to every single regional per month. So there's people that will legitimately play like maybe one tournament per like GBL meta, if even, right? So because of that, like, I mean, I'm not like, you know, I'm not acting like I'm like the best example here, but for me, like I'm not going to go to Toronto to compete. So my next tournament is what, end of February? like at that point, like I'm not gonna practice, right? Or I'm not gonna be that invested in these things. I'll play some locals here or there, but like it's hard to keep me. And I'm someone that plays the game every day. Like keep me invested in Show 6 on a personal level because I'm the next time I'm going to compete is like over 2 months away. You know,
Yeah.
And like it's a local, but like you could win like with really random stuff in locals. Like I lost a Ryko, like a non-shadow Ryko in local. Like doesn't mean it's going to work at like Toronto or Seattle, right? It's just you could just run stupid stuff sometimes in locals and win. Yeah, I don't know. I think there just needs to be what I'd like to see is intentional ways of keeping the player base heavily involved if they want to be. There's not a good reason to like. There's not enough things to do that right.
And I did see someone mention that, again, I don't know if this is enough on its own, but it's a step in the right direction. That it sounds like Go, I think, starting maybe in January, is gonna. I think stores are getting like champion play mats, like a half mat
Yes, I did
for
hear
the
about
Go
that.
winners.
Yeah.
Again, that might not be enough on its own, but I think it is a step in the right direction of having like dedicated, like cool special prizing for Go.
I also wonder because again, this is kind of one of those like archaic things that have happened in the past. They require the card stores to host these, right? You have to be a card store. You can't be some other like you can't just be someone that's passionate about Pokemon Go and just host their community ambassador, right? And that is also pretty archaic, right? Because TCG was the first competitive format. I don't know, like if VG was around when they had locals ready for TCG, maybe not. But it just became a thing where, like, okay, well, if you're a VGC player to play in locals, you also have to go to card shop. And now that Go's introduced, you also have to go to card shop. But like, out of all the 3 games, there's only one game where they feasibly could potentially make a profit off of the players playing in it. Like, I don't know any other games where they're hosting like card events, and there's also like other games unrelated card events are hosting, right? Like if you go to a card shop, they'll host like Pokemon card trading card game, like Magic the Gathering, Riftbound, like One Piece, all the stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh. But they're all card games, right? You're not going to come in and be like, oh, Riftbound is a League of Legends game that's a card game. We're also going to host a League of Legends like actual tournament where people bring in their PCs and just play. Like it doesn't make any sense, you know?
Well, so I will say, actually, so when Go first joined the championship series,
Yeah.
for VG locals, they actually didn't have to be at a card shop.
Oh, what were they hosted by?
Like it could be at a card shop, but also just like I don't know the whole process, but I think just like a professor could like somehow apply to make their own league or something. I don't really know the specifics, but that is how it was. But like a year or two ago, they actually changed it to get rid of that option and force everyone into the card shops, which caused a lot of frustration and outrage within the VG scene. But
do you know what the reason is they did that? They never said publicly.
I don't know the reason. I think I don't really know much about VG. I think there might have been some like maybe like logistical type issues that were more challenging about that setup. I don't really know the details, but like I think it might have been some of that sort of stuff. Like maybe it might have been like logistical and or administrative like challenges through that route. I don't really know. But yeah, because it used to be that there was other ways for them to do VG locals outside of card shops, and then they would cut that out. And there was a lot of frustration because VG was having and is having similar issues to Go, where a lot of times it's harder to get card shops to host locals. Obviously, there are a lot of shops that are great and still host them, but definitely, like if you look at like the event locator, the percentage of shops that host locals for TCG versus VG or Go, like that ratio is definitely pretty significantly different.
Yeah, I feel for our VG players because I feel like there's even less incentive for the card shops to host for them. At least for Go, they could be like, oh, we'll have a Pokestop at your store, like there's something to incentivize there. I don't know what the incentive is for VG, but I will say too, I think man, I'm blanking on what I was gonna say. Anyway, I don't know. I just I don't know why they decided to move away from that system, but I remember seeing some people complain about like the difficulty of even like having card shops want to host like VG events and
Oh
Go
yeah,
events,
100%.
just because
Which
it
is
doesn't make sense
definitely
for them, right?
right.
Dude, oh, okay, yeah, that's what I remember. The event locator website. Can we change it, please? It's so bad. We've had it for what? Almost over half a year now, right? It's not it hasn't gotten any better. It's so hard to use. It is so hard to use. I get they're trying to sync it up with the app. I don't know how many people are using the app because the app
But
I deleted
also
the app because I
make
feel like it's
the
hard to use,
but also
right?
make the app more like the old event locator, not make the new
Yes.
event locator like the app.
Oh,
That's
it's
not good.
so hard to use. I hate recommending. I used to love recommending people that website. Now I hate it because every time I say it, I had to give them a caveat. I'm like, dude, okay, it's a website. This is the only way you can find out which locals are. But by the way, it is a little bit difficult to use. Make sure you throw on all the filters. It'll like clear out the filters back and forth when you search stuff. But like, just make sure you set a wide range and specify just go and specify by like a certain like. It's just I don't like. There's so many little things that make it so much hard to use, and I don't know. Look, I'm not mad about whoever designed it originally to like have like for it to not pan out the way they want to or whatever. That's mistakes happen, and I'm not a great coder, so like I get it. But like at this point, I feel like there's almost enough feedback for them to want to just be like, okay, let's revert it or do something, right? Even if you don't revert it, you need to overhaul this site because it is so hard to use and very unfriendly to use. Even as someone that's gone to multiple dozens of locals and have used the old website and the new website, it's still such a pain to use. Please, that's all I ask.
Yeah, for
I know,
sure.
like I'm not. I'm speaking as someone that uses the website a lot and like legitimately I hate it. Like I hate going on that website, but it's a necessary thing to do. It's a necessary
Right, because there's no other way
nuisance.
to
There's
find
no other
stuff.
way. There's no other way. But it's such a pain. It's such a pain.
Yeah, that's
It's just
definitely
like and
something.
it's like a I mean, obviously they have a monopoly on it because it's the only company that's hosting these events. But like, it's like having a monopoly on a product, and like the product sucks, but you have to use it because there's no other way around it. You know. Sometimes I feel like that about Pokemon Go as a game. Sometimes I'm like, even when the game sucks, like this is the only game we got. There is no other game like Pokemon Go. So
Yeah,
all we could do is provide some feedback.
yeah,
But
yeah. All right,
again,
we
I'm not like
tangented hard on this comment.
yeah, I'm not trying to smack talk whoever built it, like, or people that worked on it. I think that's totally fine, and I know that they approached it with good intentions. But I think at this point, we should recognize that
Something's got to change because
something's got
it's
not
just
just something, multiple things. But
sure,
yes,
yeah. Because there's like it's not just you that's saying it. Like I've heard this from
I haven't heard anyone that say it's better than what,
right,
like not a single. I think like 100%
and
unanimous
I've heard
people agree that the
I've
old
heard
website's
this
better.
and I've
This is
heard
not even
this
like split
from like
opinions.
Go people, TCG people, VG.
Yes,
Like it's not like it's just a Go problem either. Like this is
no,
across the board. Like
across the board.
the bulk of the community is
The
all
bulk, I
saying.
think the like 100%. I haven't heard a single person say it's good.
Well, I'm just saying I haven't heard 100% of people say it's bad, so that's why. Like everyone that said something has
True.
said it's bad, but like
I haven't heard. Well, obviously, because we're not going to know 100% of people's opinions on it. But I have not heard a single person say it's good.
sure,
Yeah,
sure, but
and
yeah, something needs to change. But yeah, we tangented
for real.
hard on these
Yeah.
comments.
Okay. Anyway,
So what was? I don't think we finished talking through.
No, we didn't. So Infamous Match, the second part of the comment says rental teams, accessible resource like rare candies, and it's not Niantic anymore. Let's give people what they want or risk losing trainers. I do think that's a fair point. However, regardless if it's Niantic or not, they're still like Scopely's still in they're for profit business, right? And for them, my guess is that they're always weighing like what is the cost benefit of having rental teams or give out extra rare candies, Stardust, all these things versus not.
Yeah. So
And yeah, go ahead.
So this is actually related to Jaraka messaged me the other day, and he and I were just chatting, and he was saying that like because I think I was mentioning how like Go numbers right now are like basically what VG numbers were like 5 years ago, but he was saying like part of what spurred like the VG sort of explosion in his mind is that I guess in Gen 8, which is Sword and Shield, there was a lot of changes to the games in terms of like accessibility and how easy it is to like build a competitive team. And he was saying it went from like taking like weeks to taking like hours.
Did they have bottle? Was that when they introduced bottle caps, or was that around before then?
I don't remember what he was saying. It was a variety of things. It was like I think bottle caps, but also I don't remember all the things. But he was saying like there was a variety of things that changed. Basically, that just made it way easier to like make a competitive team in terms of like whatever stats and maybe natures and IVs and stuff you wanted or whatever. So he was attributing that to a lot of the growth. And something that I was saying to him was like, I would love to see, like, I mean, we've talked on so many episodes about like the laundry list of accessibility issues that Go has. And I do think that if they were to make progress in terms of some of those accessibility issues, that would go a long way in terms of increasing interest and participation. But the real problem in my mind is that any sort of like accessibility improvements at least partially go against the Niantic like mantra of it being a forever game. So it's like, how do you balance that? Because if you make it too easy to like get the competitive team with the IVs and the Pokemon you want, then that sort of kills their whole forever game thing where they want people, you know, playing regularly for till the end of time or whatever. So it's like, how do you balance that? Because I would love to see a lot of, you know, accessibility improvements on rental teams and stuff like that. But it's like, how do you balance that against what them as the game dev are trying to sort of go for?
Okay, this is my take on it. I don't think I've ever shared this specific because I just like something that came across right now in my brain when you said this. I think the concept that they even tout that they want this to be a forever game is a really... I'm trying to phrase this kindly, right? Or like in a not super harsh way. But I think for lack of better terms, I think it's a really stupid concept. Because it's what you're saying is, yes, you want players to play this forever for the end of time, right? What gaming company doesn't want that? No one creates a game and say, yeah, I only want these players to be invested for about a year and then just they could give up. It's fine. We'll pick up new players. No, everyone wants to create a game that's a forever game. Everyone wants to make any product a forever product, right? Like Netflix wants to be a forever, you know, streaming service for people, right? Everything it wants to be like, that's every for-profit company's goal is to keep their customers forever. Your barber says the same thing. I want a forever customer.
I mean,
right?
I guess
like,
the one caveat is like in gaming, traditionally you make a game and then you make another game in the sequel, right?
But there's a lot of games that aren't like that, right? Like League of Legends, a lot of like, you know, Counter-Strike, right? A lot of these games like have been around. World of Warcraft, they've been around for decades, right? And a lot of them have been around. Most of them have been around longer than Pokemon Go. Like, yes, in the old days, right? And like, especially like VGC or like, you know, the main series game, yeah, they come up with new game. But I feel like these days, that's not how most games operate anymore. Or maybe not a lot of games. They just create one game and they release like patches and updates and everything like that. And a lot of times it's like free to play, just like Pokemon Go, right? But there's like in-game purchases, all those things. I think that like, there's no way that people at Scopely and employees haven't thought about that, right? But like, I think if you really think about it, they're harping so much on this that it's limiting their own growth of the game or benefits to the game. Making the game more accessible will grow the game on a competitive level. Will it keep people around playing the game? Probably. I don't know, right? I think it's super frustrating to say, hey, you have to invest like a whole year to build like a solid team of 6, and the meta might change before you even finish building a team of 6.
Yeah, for
and then,
sure.
Like, who's going to be that motivated to play a game mode or to play for a tournament that they've never even played in, right? Like, it's one thing if they got a chance to experience it, like, oh, I won't do that again. Yeah, sure, I'll grind out a couple months for this, right? No, you don't even get a chance to experience it.
And that's why I think, right, and I think that's why rental teams would be huge, and like, hell, they could find a way to profit off it. Like, make it cost, I don't know, like 500 gold or I don't know, 1,000 gold to like be able to unlock rentals teams for a GBL season or something.
Sure, yeah. Or you could do it week by week. You could do it like 1 week period, right? So you could practice with it in practice tournaments and use it at a tournament. And then after the tournament's done, you just scrap it and whatever, right? Like
something, but like, yeah, having a way for people to get involved in PvP, whether it be GBL or otherwise, like, and try out different Pokemon with whatever stats and moves without having to like farm all the resources right away would go a long way to make the game, to bridge that gap. Because it's like right now, like for example, there are people that from like one of my old local communities that have decided to, try GBL a little this season because they want the Pika Libre.
Yeah.
But it's like they don't have the stuff. Like one person, like I was, suggesting they play some Master League because, they do a lot of, raids and max battles, so they have a lot of that stuff built up. And so I was like, oh, maybe you could try like running like Palkia, Zacian and Metagross. That seems like a pretty, simple team they probably have built. But the thing was like their only maxed out Metagross was on Bullet Punch, and they didn't have any elite fast TMs. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, sure, it's probably okay with Bullet Punch, but it's like that's an accessibility issue. Or there's another person who, has been trying to play some of the Great League metas, but it was like they had a Primeape, but their Primeape was on counter instead of Karate Chop. And then they had like, I don't know, a single move to like Lapras or Jellicent or something. And it's like, they just didn't have the resources to really properly make these Pokemon. And they're running with like suboptimal moves and or single moved Pokemon. Or like maybe their best other option was like a Palma or something. I don't even know. And it's like, these are people who are at least interested in trying out PvP, but like they just don't have the right things right now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, if they end up going into PvP with suboptimal Pokemon and suboptimal moves and single move stuff, like it's not going to be as enjoyable. Oh. They're not going to do as well. They're not going to be as competitive.
Even outside, and they might, you might not even be able to power up certain things, right? If it's
that too,
you can't even make a Zoom roll, right, without the resources.
Right.
I think you bring up a really good point, and like, dude, you're right. They could just make money off it. You could do a rental team. You could do like by the day, by the week, wherever. And you could, if you want to say like, oh, we don't want people doing this in like GBL and stuff. We want people to grind it. Okay, fine. Make it just only friendly battles, right? We could do it for show 6. You do it for practice tournaments. You could do it for actual tournaments. And honestly, that might be a good thing because like, let's say if you're saying like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend like 500,000 Stardust on making a Coalossal, but hey, I could do I could rent out one Coalossal for like a day. I just want to test it out during the GBL rotation when it's meta relevant and see if it's worth me grinding or building it out. Great, right? You can't use in GBL, but use in friendly battles to test with some friends and be like, oh shoot, this might be worth it. Like there's so many, like I feel like this is such
I think allowing
solution,
it
right?
for GBL would make the most sense. I mean, I think like if you look at like the way they do rental teams for VG, I think you can use rental teams like on ladder and friendly battles, and you only can't use it for a visual.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying like if they think that's too much, right? Like they want you to actually like grind out resources. Like I think it's fine if they don't allow it in GBL because it's a motivating factor for people to grind out the Pokemon once they try it out, right? With like friendly battles, like wait, this is actually kind of busted. I'm gonna go hatch a bunch of Galarian and Corsola now to like actually try to run it in GBL, right? Like I think that's fine. GBL's only 3 Pokemon too, so it's probably easier to front up 3 Pokemon than like have a team of 6, right?
Right.
But again, like I think it's fine. I would be okay if they make it eligible for GBL as well. But again, I'm just thinking like in terms of in case they don't want to go that route. But they can make money off of it, right? Yeah. Again, this is a for-profit company. They can make money off of it, but they can also increase the accessibility of tournaments and stuff. And like honestly, if I'm first weekend or 1 month into playing Pokemon Go, I want to compete in like LA regionals, right? Because it's near me. I just get a rental team for a week. I like it, and after I have a good time at the regional, I'm like, hey, now I'm going to try to actually catch the Pokemon I use at this tournament and build it out, right? Because it was good. Like, I think that was worth it. Or like, I was like, I didn't really like the Zoomer I used in the tournament, so I won't spend the resources to do that. I'll target something else, like a different fairy type, right? For the next one. You know, like it's just.
But yeah, allowing people to actually start battling right away. Because the biggest problem is if someone wants to start, whether it be going to a local or going to a regional or playing GBL, if someone wanted to start battling today, They can't.
They cannot. Not even close.
No, like
not
it
even
takes
tomorrow.
so
Not
long.
even next month. Like, let's be real here, right? And it's just any other game has like some of these like tournament modes, right? Like
Right.
Pokemon Unite, when you compete in the tournament mode, even if you don't have every Pokemon unlocked, you can use every Pokemon in the actual like tournament.
Right.
So it's
But,
like really
like,
nice for accessibility
right,
purposes.
but,
Yes, you
like,
can't use it
if
in the
you're-
rank ladder, but you can use it in the official tournament. So
Right. Well, and the thing too, the way that works is it's like if you're competitive enough in Unite, you're going to want to practice. But to practice these Pokemon, you have to buy them and unlock them.
Yeah.
So like it still works out. But yeah, like there needs to be a way for people to be able to just start battling right away. I will say, in terms of accessibility, the one other thing I was mentioning, Jiraka, is like at least we're not at the point like where we were in the past, where it's like you needed a Medicham and a Lickitung to be competitive. Like I think because and I know some people have complained about like the power creep and like, oh, there's too many viable Pokemon, but like at least the fact that there is, I don't know, 50, 60 viable Pokemon means it's easier to come up with a team of 3 for GPL or a team of 6 for Show 6 viable Pokemon, at least semi-viable Pokemon, compared to like before, like the power gap was so much greater. So like it's not enough, but it's at least a little easier to get started than it was.
I get you, but like as someone that talks to people that regularly don't have anything built or trying to get into it, it's stupid hard still. Like if a Cordelia is in the meta or Gorgeist, right? The top 2 grass in this meta, theoretically speaking. Dude, when's the last time you saw a Leleep or a Pumpkaboo in the wild? Like I don't remember the last time I've seen one. Let alone you need multiple candies to power it up and unlock a second move, right? Let's assume you have all the Stardust already. You still need to get the candies. You still need to get the first one for what it's worth. You can't, like, the buddy system doesn't allow you to get that many candies walking it, right? Unless you're encouraging people to, like, go around terms of service and get like a phone rocker, all those stuff, which I would not encourage, right? But like, it's just like there's no feasible way, and someone like that is going to raid a ton and have the resources to build all this stuff. Like,
no, I agree with that for sure.
It's like,
I'm just saying,
I do think it's fine that there's a lot less XL relevant stuff, but it's still not even like close to, like, it was really bad in the Medicham days where you needed a Medicham for sure. But
right, but my point is beyond the XL Pokemon. My point is just that like before it was like, oh, there's maybe like, I don't know, 15, 20 viable Pokemon and you need to make 6 of them. But now there's maybe 50 or 60 you can pick from. So it's a little easier to, catch a wild Spearow and make a Fearow and make like a Thievul or something.
No, I get you. I do think it's a little bit easier, but it's still stupid hard in my mind.
Right. There's still a long way to go.
To actually build a balance team with stuff you see in the wild is like near impossible. And maybe you get lucky, you see some stuff in the Rocket Grunts that you had to wait a couple months to TM off. So anyway, I resonate heavily with what you're saying of his match. He has one final comment, says making what people see in the game the same as they see on TV and making competing more accessible creates growth. Amen to that. The people on the fence of competing won't jump through the hoops the top tier players are willing to do. Driving 30 minutes to an hour away to maybe play against 4 trainers or not isn't worth it to newer battlers. Going to regional or spending $60 for a ticket, hotel, and travel to go O2 isn't worth it. These baselines need to change to grow. Yes, sir, they do. I got nothing else to add to that. I do agree with all the sentiments. And I think that's, well, talking about what you talked about with Jiraka, I think these are limiting factors for our game, our competitive game growing. Yes, the Pokemon, like Scopely and Pokemon Go might be doing well, like as a general game and people playing the game for PvE standpoint, but there's just so many casual that are going to spend a little bit of change here or there to do stuff, or they're collectors, right? But for actually growing the competitive circuit, hasn't really been happening.
No, there needs to be better accessibility, and there needs to be more ways for people to like get their feet wet with like the right Pokemon. Because again, like I said before, the problem is
their feet are dry. Those feet is looking ashy these days.
Right? If they're using the wrong Pokemon or the wrong moves or single move, like it's not the same experience. And if you just get crushed, like it's just going to be discouraging, and then you just stop playing entirely. And we don't want that. Like,
let's stop calling it like we're going to try and make this a forever game, right? Like I get that's the mentality, but it's just in my mind it's just so stupid. Like every game, every company, every game, every for-profit thing, business wants there to be forever customers, right? Isn't that stating the obvious a little bit too much? Like I didn't really think about it too hard until you said it, but then when you said it, I was just like, dude, you're so right. Like it makes no sense. Like it makes no sense that like this is their mentality. When this is everyone's mentality. It shouldn't stop you from making the game more accessible. And I guarantee you, people are still gonna play your game. Like I don't know how much profit you're gonna lose from rental teams, but if anything, I feel like at least the way you laid it out, Tristan, as an option where you could pay for it for short time periods, they make profit off of it, and they get people more invested to keep playing, right? And
also,
actually
I would love to see, and I know it's a paid thing as well, but like, give us like significantly more opportunities for bottle caps, because it's like bottle caps are great because
that's
it's
free money for them too,
right? But bottle caps are great because it's the first way that we have any sort of actual IV manipulation and control.
Yeah,
but it's like it's so limited, and like I understand like what you've been saying, where it's like if you play Master League, it makes the most sense to use them on Master League Pokemon. 100% understand that, but it's like if they were regular enough where people could make the Master League stuff they need and then be able to focus on, Great and Ultra League stuff too, like I think that would be helpful as well.
Yeah.
And like let us use them on shadows, please, for the love of God. Like why can we not bottle cap shadow Pokemon? Like shadow
Pokemon even make less sense because it's not like shadow Pokemon you can pay to like. I mean, once in a while you see them in race, but for the most part for shadow Pokemon, you have to like just grind a lot. Like you're not even
shadow
paying
Pokemon
for more shadow encounters.
Are less accessible anyways. So
yes,
and it's frustrating because it's like we can't lucky trade them, we can't bottle cap them, and so it's like there's ways that we could make like shadow accessibility, at least in terms of IVs, better, but it's being blocked. And that's so frustrating because it's like with shadow Pokemon, it's just total luck of the draw because 100%. You can't trade them, you can't ball cap them, and you just have to do these grunts and hope you get lucky with the IVs. Most of the time they're bad.
Super lucky too. Yeah. I mean, like how many people have 100% shadows for Master League, right? Like people always ask me like, why don't you use a shadow hoe in Master League? I was like, bro, you think I have 100% shadow hoe? Like there's no way you can get it. You can't trade it. You can't bottle cap it. Like there's like the majority of people don't run shadows in Master League for various reasons, but the main reason is because they don't have it, Like
exactly.
They don't have the shadows to make. Like
but also for non-Great League,
10,
like
15 shadow Pokemon in Master League.
It's also just it's hard to get like a good IV spread for like meta relevant shadows too, and
particularly
like Great
legendaries,
League. Right? But I'm saying like even in Great League, like a non-legendary, right? Like
absolutely, yeah.
It's just tough.
Well, great comments there from Infant Smash. Jaraka says, "Hey friends, I've got an idea to balance out the cups of different sizes between small and regional IC side events. Rather than change the local cups, create a new Super Cup or Super Challenge that can only be hosted at official play Pokemon or Niantic events. For those, you get double the CP rewarded. This is balanced out by the fact that the local system would add a hard cap of 260 points earned or top 4 cup in 4 challenges finishes as already exists." So he's saying like at like maybe Go Fest or at a regional, there'll be like the super cups and stuff.
Right, that would give more points. But he's saying it's
like dislike because 100% the challenges and cups at a regional and at an IC is 100 times harder than any local in most situations compared to most locals, right? Maybe a few locals out there are pretty stacked, but even the most stacked ones don't have that many numbers. I don't play in them because I know it's not worth like my time, and the odds of me doing well enough is like pretty low, right? And I'd rather just not show my team. And by the time like I'm eliminated, I don't really have the motivation to play in the cup. But I get a lot of people do. So I do think that there is. I think it does make sense for them to award more because they almost always are harder.
Well, and it would actually have the added benefit too of like what we were talking about before of like the people who don't really have locals by them. There would be a bigger incentive to do these, cups and challenges at regionals because it's like there'd be more points on offer there, so it could help bridge that gap a little bit better for the people that don't have locals.
Yes, I think I see what he's saying. I think at the same time though, it is also a situation where it's a little bit of a rich gets richer situation. Because you could look at it from the perspective, okay, maybe you don't have a lot of locals in, let's say, your area. So when you go to regionals, you can make the most of it by playing these super challenges, super cups, etc. But what about for the people that do have those, but also they have the means to go to multiple regionals and multiple ICs, and even if they don't do so well, they just play in the super challenges, super cups constantly, and they'll probably still qualify worlds, even if they don't do well enough at the regionals they paid to go. Because
Jiraka, I mean, I will say Jiraka's saying that like it would still be the same maximum number of points you could get from locals. So he's saying, what is it right now, like 260 or something? So he's saying these would count in the same. It would just be a 260 maximum points between cups, challenges, and super locals, whatever.
Super cups. I see. So you could do like 2 or 4 cups to max out at 200 points, right? Or you could do 2 super cups to max out at 200 points, right? Because they're double. I get that. Actually, I like the idea a lot more when you phrase it like that. I do think it still poses an issue in killing the local scene, because if I win a super cup at a regional, dude, that's 2 less cups. No, that's more than 2 cups that I'm not going to locally, right? Because I'm not like going to win every cup I go to local wise, but now I'm not going to go to like maybe 5, 6, 7 cups for the rest of the year. You know, and
but you just said you're not. I mean, yeah, I guess it hurts the local scene, but I guess it probably encourages more people to do them at the region.
I agree.
Which is something you're saying you don't normally do. So
I don't normally do, but there's always enough people there's still plenty of people that want to do it, right? I think I'm the exception because I'm just lazy, right? But I think the majority, not even majority people, but there's always a good chunk of people, right? The amount, like, those take longer than like the actual day 2 tournament sometimes, right? But I like it though for people like, let's say Infinite Smash that doesn't, if he doesn't have, I don't know his situation, but if he doesn't have a lot of card shops near him, then if he goes to a regional, he can make the most of it, right? Regardless if he does how well he does it, he can play Super Challenge and Super
Cup. Or even, was it last season when Snots got like second at a regional and he like missed out on qualifying for Worlds?
Yeah, and he like doesn't have like he doesn't go to enough regionals either, right? Because if he went to enough, because he like if he got second at that tournament, he wasn't playing in Super Cups or Super Challenges either, right? Like he's kind of in a bad spot in general because he just doesn't go to enough tournaments or locals combined, or ICs.
Maybe, but like there was definitely a couple people that like, if you like, I think Jayla Jane even highlighted on his spreadsheet where it was like they were pretty close to qualifying but like didn't have any locals, and it's like maybe if they had got points at like a Super Cup or something, that would have made the difference. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I do like aspects of what Jiraka is saying. I think at the same time, there's pros and cons, right? Again, the pros is obvious, right? Like you listed, and the con is you kind of cut down local participation anyway. But I mean, for what it's worth, local participation is at an all-time low in my mind compared to the past few years. So maybe the scene's already dead. I don't know. I'm not saying like it's a good solution, but like that would be my biggest concern is the local scene's already struggling on participation, and this would be a way to effectively, make it even less active.
Right, that's definitely a good point.
But it is great though for people that don't have it, right? It is a good equalizer for sure. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if like, I feel like it's at least an interesting like starting point to some sort of idea or new approach. But yeah, I think something that like through our conversations today, I'm sort of like realizing is some of these like things are challenging because I feel like every sort of idea or change has like domino effects and like has good and bad like results, right? Like we talked about like dropping like locals from 6 to 4, right?
Yeah.
And how that there's some positives there, but there's also negatives. And it's like with this idea that Jiraka has, I think it's interesting. And it gives more merit to and more value to doing these challenging cups at regionals. But like you're saying, the flip side is that maybe it kills off the local scene even more. So it's like, so these things are more complicated than we realize. And it's like, how do you optimize this system in a way that's good for the player base and the participation? Because it's like every single decision you have has pros and cons to it. And
I know the clear solution. You just need to grow the competitive base, and then all these other issues go away. You could grow the competitive base. There'll be more people at locals, and there's a lot of people at locals. You can even introduce the Super Cup, Super Challenges at regionals, ICs, and even if that cuts down local participation, if there's a lot of people that still continue playing the game, so what? They'll still go to the locals, right? Like the TCG locals are always sizable in my mind, at least when I see them. There's always a good chunk of people there at all of them. Because they just have a bigger player base. Doesn't matter how the system goes. Like, it's not like the card shops are unwilling to host Go events. Like, there's so many card shops I go to, they're not making really any money off of us, but they're still hosting it. Whether it's for the Pokestop, whether it's just to be nice for the community, I don't know, whatever reason, right? But they're still doing it. So we have them being accommodating.
Right. Well, and the thing too is
we
like,
just don't have the players to
and the thing too is if the shops are smart, they can set up like entry fees for the Go Cups and challenges such that like the players are still getting like some cool prizing, but the shop is also profiting.
Yeah.
If they do it well, and if the numbers scale up, it makes it even more worth their time because it's going to be, more profitable for them to host a 20-person cup than a 5-person cup.
Yep, absolutely. We just need to grow the scene. I think that's the most, like, it solves all the local issues. If we grow the scene enough, like, they'll probably inevitably have to do Swiss. It's just like, that's like, there's no way you can't do double. There's no way you could do double elim for VG and TG. Why? Because there's way too many people. You have to do Swiss.
Right.
You'll have to do Swiss for Go, right? At that point too. And I know a lot of people want Swiss, and that's fine. And I think the game is stabilizing to a point where it is not too bad. Like, obviously we have Swiss, we have more people, our tournaments will be longer, but that's just going to happen anytime you have more people at a tournament, right? So I think that's just something that everyone get used to, and I don't think people are going to complain that much. No one's complaining that EUIC has 500 something people. People are excited, right? They're like, dang, this is cool, I want to be a part of that 500. No one's complaining about it, right? No one's like, these are more people I had to beat and this makes it harder. Yeah, of course it makes it harder, but it's nice. Everyone, I think, likes to see the game grow. Like, it's like, oh, like, yeah, sure, you go to a 50-person tournament, but it's not a great feeling, right? Even when you win it, you're like, man, this is a 50-person tournament, right? This is not a 500-person tournament. But anyway, great points from Draka. Angel Apollo says official resources would be such a huge step as an in-game show 6 support. We can dream. Yes, we can dream, but Scopely can execute. Like, this is not like wishing on the Tooth Fairy to come down, right? Like, this is like a real thing that they could do one day, or next year or 2 years from now, who knows, right? These are all things they can do. So again, shout out to anyone from Scopely that's listening. I don't know how many of you all still out there, but these are,
well, and I agree on like official resources would be huge too. Both hopefully having more information available in game, as well as more information and resources available from both Niantic Scopely and from Pokemon.
Dude, I make like content for free, right? Like, just on YouTube to try to get people into PvP or learn mechanics and stuff. Like, I try to teach people, but like, obviously my exposure is not going to be as big as like a whole application saying like, hey, check out this in-game resource built in, right, to the game. There's no way,
or
right?
even just like web resources on Niantic or Niantic Help or Pokemon.com or something.
But it's like with this,
it's challenging too, because it's like, for example, like one of the best resources, like a lot of the best resources are all like community based, which like can't always be officially acknowledged. And so that makes it hard for people that aren't connected to the community to like make that first step, find those resources.
The majority of people aren't.
Right, and it's like Steve talked about his LAIC experience, and like I think one or two of his opponents, he said like didn't really have meta teams at all because there was just no resources like official resources in terms of like the meta and like what's good or anything like that. And it's like, so they did the best they can, but it's like they're not gonna be super competitive without having like the right Pokemon, right? And so just like resources and support and like, I don't know, meta guides or different things like that could go a long way.
I know, like, we joked about dev diaries in the past, but there's a lot of other games that do dev diaries. They just do like a video dev diary of like they do this for League of Legends, right? They'll have the devs make like a 10 to 20 minute video every season before the season starts on like the season changes, what they're doing to that they listen to your feedback and these are some of the changes going to make for the next season. Like they say all these things very upfront and direct. I don't know if Pokemon as an IP like kind of restricts some of this stuff. So I don't know, right? Because I don't work for the company like that. So I don't know what restrictions they're dealing with. But I do think that even the dev diaries, like the blog updates were fine. Dude, imagine if you have like a video embedded into the app that just takes you to YouTube or some website and it shows like them breaking down the thing. It's just so much easier to digest than just sitting there reading like a 5-page blog post about something, right? That people sometimes don't want, right? If you present in a certain way, you film in the office, right? And, whatever, like you can make it fun. You'd be like, hey, it's Professor Willow, like someone cosplays him. I don't know. Like you can make it interesting, right? There's just so many ways that these are not. I like that Ancient Palace says we can dream, but like we don't have to just dream, like this is something that could happen. It just the ball is in Scopely and Pokemon Company's court, right? Whether they want to do it or not. And I get it, right? It's not like just because someone on YouTube on a random small podcast says this doesn't mean that they have to take this into consideration. But I think these are really good ideas. And like there's no downside besides spending the resources for it. Sure, they got to spend resources, but like the amount of resources it take to make this kind of stuff cannot be that expensive. Now, does it take a lot of approval processes? Sure. But hopefully leadership potentially can see the merit of this, or whoever brings this up to leadership can say, hey, if you work at Scopa, you can just say this is your own idea, right? It's not like Angel Palace is going to come after you and be like, oh my gosh, that was my idea. I left on episode 233 of the Battlecast podcast back in December of 2025. No, it's like, I don't think people are going to be that upset, right? Yeah, I mean, you could say someone you saw somewhere, or you could say it's yours, who knows, right? But like, I think these are all great things that we want to help you make the game better. That's all I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
You
probably again, I don't know how any of this stuff really works, but my guess is potentially the main limiting factor is just like man hours.
Man hours, red tape, leadership, maybe not wanting to make a change like that. Like I think these are all possible things, and maybe things that
in my mind it's like man hours, and it's like if you're having people spend time on this, they're not spending time on something else, and it's like where are the priorities.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I get that. Yeah. All right. Final comment. Chad says, how to grow the game? Easy. Swiss format. I've been to 3 regionals, and while I had a great time and enjoyed the speed experience, I would not invest the time and money to attend another until Double Elimination is replaced with Swiss. Keep up the great pods, guys and gals. TB12 Pats Rule. Oh yeah, that's the username. Yeah. I think that's fair. And again, I think the simplest solution to all this stuff is you just got to grow the game to have Swiss, right? It's like kind of like yeah, Swiss will grow the game, but also if you just grow the game, they have to have Swiss. And hopefully us rambling for like almost an hour in the comments is, I was like, this is going to be a shorter podcast, but we found a way. Actually,
Steve's gonna be shocked.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone that left comments, right? You all brought really good discussion points. And honestly, I don't think I disagree with any of them.
But yeah, it's funny. Steve's like, oh, I just left before, a few comments. They probably took like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't try to stick around for those. We went on some.
But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like the thing that we've been hearing from so many players is that, like, their interest in attending regionals is lower or non-existent because of the double elim format. And I think, like, again, I think that, like, obviously all like the top competitors are going to compete regardless, but I get the sense that more of the like middle of the road and like also like newer competitors have a lot less interest in competing under double elim. And so if the goal is to grow and widen that base, then yeah, we absolutely need to hopefully move to Swiss, and hopefully the sort of season update teaser that Play Pokemon made mentioning Swiss will come true at some point this season, and we'll just have to wait and see how that goes.
One day, I hope our regionals will sell out just like how VG and TCG regionals sell out. I hope that our events will sell out as quick as it does for EUIC every single year, right? Because EUIC is literally the only event that really sells out. There's like occasionally once in a while regional that sells out if it's like just the cap is way smaller than usual. But for the most part, right, we're not really selling out these. I would hope that one day we get to that point. And I think when we get to that point, I think overall my hope is that the game is in a much better place. Not just like from a competitive standpoint, but just like not just from like a number standpoint, but from a competitive standpoint as well. Because if you have more people investing in the game, then my hope is that, okay, well, we can raise the skill ceiling. We can do other things with the game. I feel like right now, Scopely is struggling with like, hey, let's not make the game too complicated because we don't want newer players to be like too thrown off by this and make it too hard for new players to get into it. But it's already too hard just from accessibility standpoint. I don't think the game itself is that hard from an esports standpoint, even if you make it more complex, like adding a third charge move, adding held items, make it 4v4, doing all the stuff, right? I don't think all these things, dude, there's so many stupid, complicated games out there in the world, and they have millions of people playing it. You can't tell me that Pokemon Go PvP is that complicated to turn people away, right? It's the accessibility issue that's turning people away. It's not that it's hard. Like, dude, there's games, the amount of things you have to learn in like a MOBA, right, or a first-person shooter sometimes is crazy, right? You can't even go to Worlds if you even try because it's that hard and complicated. You have to be like, you can't be a certain age because reaction skills get too low, right? That's not going to be the case for Pokemon Go, right? Maybe you don't catch something as fast as you would, but like these are not like, it's not that hard to catch a move even at like an elderly age is my guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long I play this game. If I'm old, we'll see if I can still make catches like I used to. But I don't think that'll be a huge concern. Anyway, that's going to do it for our comments. We've rambled quite a bit. Let us know your thoughts if you like. Our next week's episode will be the holiday episode. And assuming everything goes well and Anacor has not run off and hid himself from the potential bets, we should have a new cover. Now, the question is, who's singing it? I have no idea. I
Both
legitimately...
of you.
No, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
We need to do it.
No. You guys are asking for too much here. None of you are even part of the bets, right? You can't be dictating the terms of agreement. Me and him are signing ourselves up for a potential embarrassment while you guys can just sit there and laugh, right? With everyone else. So we're like, I feel like we're just like the freaking like dance monkey dance kind of situation. You just sitting there like the peanut gallery while you're watching us potentially making each other dance for some podcast entertainment, which I don't mind. But we should be the ones that in stipulation. We'll see if Anacor does end up going with it or not. Hopefully. If not, there's no way I'm doing a Mariah Carey by myself or a bet I didn't lose. But hopefully he gets back to us. And if all things go well, we'll have another cover added to our cover playlist and another song in the books for the season. Anyway, honestly, we could do two things. We could do that, and then I still like the Quackable one. Do you remember that I said the Quackable Shakira cover? Like you sing a Shakira song while dancing like Quackable. That I think is hilarious. Because we're doing the high Zelo by now, we can still do like a who's first to reach 3K in this season. I think that is still a potential bet that me and Eric will still do. But I'll have to see if he's down for it or not. I mean, 2 singing cover bets per season is, I mean, I think it's fine. I don't think it's that much, right? 2 in less than like 1 every.
That means you need to get that many responses from Anacor. That's the real hard part.
For what it's worth, he does respond to me pretty quickly. I don't know about other people, but like if I shoot him a DM, he's like, if he's back on Discord, he'll respond. If he doesn't respond to me, I assume he's just like in the middle of nowhere, not using Discord. But yeah, we'll see. I think it should be good. But yeah, we'll do some holiday stuff next episode, and we have a lot of events to cover for next episode too. So I'm sure we'll find a way to make it another 2-hour episode. Anyway, hope you have a great one, and we'll catch you all next time. Peace out.
See ya.